we're going to be seeing Honduran Super Soldier start off on the Sin. She's going to be going up against CPU, starting off on this Faust. Let's get it.
Yeah, CPU, definitely one of the more aggressive names on Faust, but also just frustratingly one of the more patient names, especially. Like, just the one tricks is one thing, but just the item luck that you see from CPU is definitely diabolical. Already starting things off, and the item luck could not be any better.
She's doing some cool stuff right here, using that trumpet to keep you locked down in the corner. But same thing back to Super Soldier, who's got some tricks as well with that B or C momentum change. But CPU not holding that overhead, goes right for that reversal super.
RedIAmNot, I'll try to get the OTG to be able to set up yet another cancel option, but as per usual, Nan is not gonna back down just yet. Frame trapping with the Hawk Baker and able to secure that wall break, but just in time as well. That RTL is gonna give us so much to work with off that hard knockdown.
I love how we got it off of the JPs, by the way. Great cancel there from Super Soldier, and then right back to CPU. Great cancel to her as well with that fast RC off that far slash to be able to take out Nan here. I like that active 5K on the round start.
Just playing it slow. Great extension, forcing the burst down from Nan, but good awareness as well. That's the kind of thing you've got to be cautious about as a Faust player. Your biggest identity factor is your ability to read the screen and understand your item awareness at all times, and CPU has got that in droves. It's going to be a daunting battle, especially given that Honduran Super Soldier loves to take initiative.
I like that dash block. Talking about the initiative, you gotta use that dash block to try to approach that thrust when you can, but that counter hit JD is going to help out CPU using that wild assault to finish off the round. Awesome finish right there with the afro and everything. CPU, she finishes rounds with swag.
I mean, you got to come out, man. It's a wonderful time to really get that cutout. I mean, there's not really much on that bald head. You gotta look good for the folks at home, and CPU is not one to let down the people at home. Always an entertainer when it comes to the Faust play.
I mean, she definitely plays flashy characters, right? You know, we were saying before the round started that the Asuka. We're talking about other characters. Honduran Super Soldier swapping to that Geo early here. Now, Giovanna against Faust can have some unique interactions for the Faust, being able to crawl under some of these special moves. So we'll see. Honduran Super Soldier probably feeling some comfort in this matchup potentially. Gonna try to get around some of these mini Fausts if we can, but those bananas putting you down, these great items keeping you down, and CPU loves putting these afro when she can. Oh, walking to the corner.
Inadvertently getting a lot of reward and potency off that mini Faust despite the OTG. That actually gave a lot more positional advantage. But touching upon your point, right, the character swap. There's a lot when it comes to the mentality of switching to the character. I think ideally speaking for Nan, the biggest thing here is to really throw off the mental awareness of just being able to punish and just having that ability to lock down CPU. But so far, it's not really holding up any water to wine. It's not any dice being well rolled in favor for you.
Oh, trying to approach with that far slash, but CPU gets her counter hit. Honduran Super Soldier spends this time trying to approach, but man, I gotta say, these interactions is going in Faust's favor. This character, I'm used to seeing the spaghetti go against him, but dude, this has been just Faust's world, and we're living in it.
And we're gonna take a quick trip back to the ICU. It is time to get your femur checked, and that is a quick game too. Honestly, faster than the first. That's just the level of potency CPU offers. It doesn't take long to get her game plan started, but you would like to believe that the Honduran Super Soldier herself has another bag of tricks up her sleeve, because as it stands, that winter side run is starting to fall apart at the seams.
We'll see. Definitely very early for these players to play. I'm gonna keep it a million, but I mean, we're privileged that there's a lot of good players that play this game and sign for the weekly. So that means that, you know, the funnel gets compact quick, and CPU and Honduran Super Soldier having to play here already in this. I think it's round 3. That meteor coming out again. Was that the 4th meteor we've seen in this set alone?
Try to fake it out with that dash up empty jump, but so far nothing, no dice. Lack of a willing to bite on anything. But good news for the Honduran Super Soldier. We are going to get that hard knockdown. This is looking pretty solid and already getting some net reward going into game 3.
YRC to keep back CPU here. I love using that anti-air to put back this Giovanna here. Super Soldier trying to approach some of those air dashes here in the corner. CPU taking advantage of that air momentum. Now we got you in the corner. Oh my god, dude, that BRC from the air dash. Honduran Super Soldier so good at where she places them.
Setting up the banana. You do have the ability to set up that plus frame thrust. And CPU not too worried whatsoever about controlling the space, just keeping it simple and just making sure that you cannot dissuade any sort of pokes from these ranges. That J2K just nailing right on target. CPU has been precise and has been calculated in these approaches.
She's doing great stuff. Super Soldier a little quicker there on those far slashes here. CPU wasn't able to get off that 5H, was able to use that 2K to fight back on that dog dart, which is a really good answer back. Super Soldier finally gets some chances to get some of these tick throws out here. The FD pushes you back, and CPU finds a 5H to press out.
Her spacing has been very immaculate, right? The Honduran Super Soldier tried to go for the dive kick, but the hammer that just came down. What a saving grace. Try to up back to deal with that situation, but PRC Scarecrow is a scary thing to be entailed.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, this mix in the red RC. Looks like it's going to be CPU's game there. But, dude, that, like I said, it's Faust world. Kappa, we're living in it. Holy shit. We got to get through these pools. See who's going to come out on top. Starting off with SirPinky and DrDoom.
Yeah, and SirPinky is definitely someone you got to be a little bit more cautious about when you consider the kind of capabilities that Sinkisuke can offer. You know, losing a little bit of that mileage, but nonetheless, you still got a lot of mileage from a lot of the potency that Sin offers. But DrDoom utilizing a lot of what makes Nagoriyuki so potent, that explosive damage as well as that very great neutral to just keep Sin at bay. It's going to be a very big tussle for resources here.
We'll see, man. DrDoom already doing some good stuff. Keep you back with that 5H at that high blood. Take advantage of that 5H.
So
now, you're actually in the
prodding away
player.
At that very important range that Nagoriyuki specializes in. But certainly with a little momentary opening like that, SirPinky can really switch things up. Level 3 blood is very dangerous. Got to keep your spacing up in check.
We'll see. BRC drifting forward. Nice stuff here from SirPinky, man. DrDoom trying to block this one out, but
keep it simple, keep it stylish. You know, you want to do what you got to do to keep Nagoriyuki down for good. Doom just bending that 50 meter, keeping it simple, not trying to overcomplicate the game plan, trying to go overhead, chip it out. There we go. Also, don't mind me. I accidentally muted you. I thought that was the screen share.
oh, no worries. No worries. Honestly, getting all the tech stuff out of the way in this first round. SirPinky and DrDoom trying to put on the show regardless of that one. And this end's looking good right here, Kappa. Now, you actually played that Nago, right? So, like, you got a little bit of insight here. I'm kind of curious to hear some of that stuff.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of experience, especially into this matchup. It's typically on paper is very much good for Nagoriyuki. I think in any facet, it is a very good matchup, especially with the tools that Nagoriyuki possesses. It's a great neutral battle. And for SirPinky, it's definitely an uphill battle. But one of the big problems that Nagoriyuki definitely suffers from comes from not having those special cancel options. All that damage and output only works as much as you can prod away. But the moment Sin gets that one hard knockdown post-wall break, it really starts to go from doom to gloom. So SirPinky's got to really bring the intensity and stay on top of DrDoom should their run fall short from the winner side.
We're gonna use that PRC to keep our turn going, but I don't see any stamina over there, so that's all your resources. I mean, at least you got this counter hit here. DrDoom's still stuck in this corner. Low blood, though, so finally has a chance to start playing that game. Pinky gonna wisely use that burst to put you back, though, after that blood spend. And now that stamina's still low, but that HP looking good over here for Pinky. We got a nice lead here.
Yeah, the lead is going to be circumvented, especially when you have positive bonus coming on through. It definitely is an important thing to just stay composed. DrDoom just fighting out of that corner still has a very healthy amount of blood and has plenty of resources to boot. Alongside that, already we're seeing a lot of that life lead drain away quickly, just as much as we got it.
Trying to game with that Beyblade out. That close outs from the other side was actually crazy that Pinky was able to block that one out. So heads up play. Going to be able to RTL through. I saw the second hit of DP queued up, but not going to be able to come out as Pinky with that reversal super. Actually going to win the round on a pixel. That was crazy.
Yeah, a little bit of a momentary lapse in judgment from DrDoom. Really try to extend and try to get that quick, sneaky, instant overhead off the Shizu follow-up. But SirPinky, when you got it, you got to flaunt it. 100-meter is no joke, and you've got to be wary at all times. Also, just for DrDoom, really starting things off very strong. But again, just that little moment of lack of judgment does cost him that round. But so far, so good. It's looking pretty even. It's just a matter of maintaining that consistency into SirPinky before the adaptation period starts to really settle in.
We'll see DrDoom in the chat said the Chud thrower back at it again. Nah, come on, homie. Nah, come on. It's just one game. We have those. We'll see. With a good start here, Pinky gonna get you with that 2D though, guys. Nice stuff. That stamina being spent perfectly to get that wall splat and sending you through. DrDoom looking good here though, so having our burst. Pinky trying to stagger you out.
Yeah, and when you have tension on top of that, right, lack of stamina is not a problem. When you have positive bonus and you have 50 tension to burst through, you can get rid of all your stamina all in one go. And SirPinky has done a pretty good job of just locking DrDoom out of all these danger zones and really bringing that intensity back up, like I was mentioning earlier, really dominating the neutral game and really forcing DrDoom to take agency.
Nice stuff here, Pinky. Blocking out here, getting up high on that blood. DrDoom, and you're facing that corner, but Pinky with good timing fighting our way out. Staggering out a bit, a little patient on that stamina expenditure. I say that and then we drop it all, but it came out on top for us, right? Able to get this tyrant barrel here. DrDoom still high blood. Gonna have to fight back.
Yeah. You've got to be careful too. It's a huge trade-off for either player, right? And look at that, asleep at the wheel, and you get caught. Car crash of this interaction off the charge dust, but immediately answering back with an RTL post knockdown. There is no love lost here, but there is lack of respect once the fisticuffs started flying.
Okay. Unfortunately, wasn't able to keep that throw combo going further. Pinky committing to that burst bait, though, was able to still finish off the round. A little scrambly there at the end, but with some solid play leading up, was able to come out on top. DrDoom, like you said, caught him asleep at the wheel with that charged dust. Said, hey, maybe I'm going down this game, but I'm getting the clip at least. So good stuff right there. Pinky looking good with this 2-0.
I mean, pretty much a solid way to end things off, but you've got to be cautious if you're SirPinky, right? Too many of those burst baits usually lead to what I like to call the burst baiter's paradise, but it is oftentimes a cruel and unnerving journey that you got to cross, because sometimes that can really spell the difference between defeat or victory, and you don't want to be on the losing side of that trade.
It's like the journey of the hero, the hero's journey, the hero's path. The journey of the burst baiter out here. You don't want to get lost down that one, guys. Learn from history. Pinky gonna use that burst to keep DrDoom here in the corner. That 5D comes out, and that blood is high. Unfortunately, Pinky in a great spot.
Yeah, that level 3 blood, while it is very potent against Sin Kisuke, it also is as a detriment to DrDoom, and it has been that additional 25% damage output for SirPinky is going to do a boatload of help here. Now able to get the full extension off of the 5k 6H, but we still have Doom in the corner, not really fighting out, and we do secure that round just before that burst can really start being a factor.
Nice stuff here, Pinky, on that set point. I love this confident round start here from DrDoom, though. Going to keep this Sin in the corner, high blood, but a lot of damage. I like that trade. Air hit keeps that Sin back. The Beyblade connects. The 5D earns you that wall splat, and DrDoom is going to get a lot of damage dealt here. Pinky gonna have to be calm here if you're gonna close it out, but no, DrDoom, now I'm gonna let you have a chance with that 2S counter hit.
That hit confirmed, that really sets this matchup and really puts the matchup setter in motion. You cannot allow this to consistently hit, and even more so, you cannot let mistakes like that fly more than once. And catch with the Nagoriyuki, the clone, is going to secure that wall break alongside that positive bonus. This is a really good position for DrDoom, especially off the black beat.
Ooh,
got so many options.
Kappa, any hit will take it.
Tap dust blocks it out, able to backdash away from how far away that landed. There's a lot of options for DrDoom, especially with burst and toad. All it takes is one hit and you're done for, and that empty jump gets caught. He is awake at the wheel on the driver's side. That is one game afforded to DrDoom. We do not have a clean slate here, Jeek. It is going to be one more of a set than SirPinky was hoping for.
Here we go. DrDoom. finishing our food here. Was in a great spot, by the way. I mean, I don't know, pretty high HP, pretty high blood there. When you have your Sin in the corner, able to keep them back with that 2S. I gotta say, I haven't seen a lot of this counter hit 2S in some of these latter rounds, so DrDoom really finding good places to put that normal. Pinky gonna have to adjust.
Trying to bait out the burst. DrDoom a little bit greedy on his side, but honestly, not a bad choice from that position of the screen. We do now have the corner. This is really good positioning for DrDoom. And SirPinky gonna have to spend a lot of stamina to expend out of the corner. Crossing over to the other side, we're here in the East Coast, spending every resource we can to loop that positive bonus. This is what matters in the long haul, making sure that Nagoriyuki can't use resources liberally.
Trying to get in with that blade, trying to force our way in here. Pinky gonna use that red RC at the perfect time, feeling that burst coming out. The 2K already queued up, active enough to call out that BRC. Pinky sitting here on set point.
That was a very solid recognition as well. You weren't really going to get much of a confirm on there anyway. And great call out, catching that Fukio back with the far/check. It was a huge gamble on his part, and he succeeded. SirPinky just has to hold that corner. DrDoom able to get the whiff punish. These hit confirms are starting to stack up a lot for DrDoom, just trying to stay outside of that far/beak driver range. SirPinky have a little bit of trouble. Well, it takes one 5H, and that round gets lost. But we get the bat, we get the throw, and now we're in the corner. This is good work for SirPinky.
Trying to use that stamina. I gotta say, for this whole set, we've been low on that stamina, but we've been high on that damage dealt. Nice block on that overhead. DrDoom gonna fall for that shimmy here. Pinky gonna link into the 2K and send you through. Not enough to kill, but on a last hit scenario here, Pinky trying to close out the set.
Yeah, we got to be careful. Any hit on DrDoom will definitely lead to failure. We have burst on the table. We have so much on our books, but unfortunately we die with our soul intact. That is DrDoom going to be bowing out on winners round 2.
But I mean, you're playing against one of the best in the game right here, this Lurry. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to try to, make a mark here. If not, come out with this upset. Lurry, of course, gonna look good out here in this Faust. Capo calling out that top 8 at Frosty Fausting. That's actually a great point, man. Lurry, not just here on the onlines at the Jeekly, but on the offlines, taking names.
Yeah, you cannot understate how great a player like Lurry is, man. There's a reason why when you think about great Faust players in the community, the names that come up the most often are definitely Lurry and Skullduggers. And honestly, I don't blame them for believing that, because this man's ability to just make something out of nothing is absolutely tremendous. OG-Man really starting to pick up a name for himself as of lately, especially on the Mexican side of things, but just Lurry is on a whole different level.
We'll see right here, Lurry blocking out some of these bots. I like that patience there from Neptunest, trying to see if Lurry wanted to try to press out as well with a 2P or such. Oh my god, I love that cancel into J2K from Lurry fighting against the bots in the air. Neptunest coming out on top of this Elysian driver, but Lurry showing some defense there on the bots.
Yeah, burst has just been attributed to Lurry, but Neptunest definitely has a really good path to victory here if she can just extend off of that. Gonna get the burst bait as well. Positive bonus, just attributing 50 meter in time, and we steal the round away. Very good way to come back and show out for that first game. Neptunest already evened things out.
Holy moly. All right, immediate change in momentum, I gotta say. Great stuff. With that being said, Lurry with some patient blocks out here. Neptunest going for some big stagger here. Lurry doesn't want to fall for any of those Jacko counter hits, so Neptunest taking advantage of that respect. Gets you here to the corner, sends you through with this hard knockdown. Lurry still not out of it yet.
Yeah, but she's really making good work off these minion shoots. These minion shoots have really been harassing Lurry. These frame traps off of them have been doing fantastic work off the counter hits, and even just forcing Lurry into a more passive approach. Neptunest not really keeping track of the screen at the moment, but she does fuzzy away from that 6H. And Faust does attribute to the corner, but we force that burst out. Close slash anti-airs. This is going to be a wallop for sure.
We're looking good here in the corner. Lurry gets that opening red RC to close it out. 4 sends Neptunest through. Great stuff. Close first game there, but Lurry comes out on top.
Yeah, this is why you got to be wary at all times against Lurry. You give him an inch, he's going to take a mile, and he's going to take a metric mile as well. You can never undersell how quickly he turns something out of nothing and able to take the victory right then and there, even off of a deficit going into game. Again, like round number 3, started off strong, ended was a little bit rocky in the middle, but still ended off well at the end.
Neptunest. I mean, both these characters like being in that full screen, right? So it's about who is able to get to that full screen and then take advantage of it first, right? So Neptunest gets a chance to call out some of these bots here. Does get a whip punish here on Lurry, trying to be aggressive with that 6P. The burst gets spent. She pulls up a bit on these thrusts here. Lurry trying to keep her in the corner. The counter comes out. The burst gets spent as well.
Faust has been activated, and at this moment in time, it seems like Lurry's getting away with a lot of these unchecked thrusts. Neptunest just kind of waiting out and trying to find some timing. Tried to go for that run up 2D, but Lurry scouted it way in advance, gets the full extension off the Acro Explosion, and takes the round in sweeping motion.
This Dr. L looking good out here, using that J2K, very confident in the round start. Neptunest getting some tumble bot damage here, putting this Faust in the corner. Good block on the overhead. That mini Faust going to buy you some time. Lurry going to take advantage of it, getting out of that corner. The 2H knockdowns have been great. Tries to go for a preemptive 4, but Neptunest going to put you in the corner.
That's with that J2K from the skybox, able to get the extension. You're going to call upon the little guy to do the business. Crossing over, just backdashes away from how high it was. It wasn't going to be plus enough to be able to get offense going. So great recognition from Neptunest to just keep herself safe.
Nice stuff here. Oh my god, just perfectly outspaced that 2D. Neptunest with a right idea, but Lurry with a good backdash. We almost picked up off of that defend command. Great stuff, Neptunest. Using these spots to the best of her ability, like that fast PRC to try to open up this Faust here. Not falling for it quite yet. Trying to block out some of these hits, not trying to take too much chip damage.
We talk about defense, right? Very solid work from Lurry. I think it goes without saying, but we got to just talk about just finding the one gap and opening Neptunest up at the very pivotal end of that round, because most people definitely have trouble finding a way to get out of there. It's almost inescapable. But as it stands, though, Lurry is back to the wall. He is trying to find an escape route, and he manages to do so off the mix.
Oh, I like that frame trap bot. Good blocks here from Lurry. Neptunest with so much meter, though. I like that mash out. What was that? 2P, 6P there from Lurry to get this Jacko off. He is going to confirm this 5D connection to Red RC. Neptunest being sent through here, but she's got so much meter, almost 100 tension.
And on top of that, you also have the burst lead as well. So Lurry is going to have to contest with a lot of resources until the moment comes where that resource really comes to pass. At the moment, though, he's definitely waning a little bit. Neptunest just came up on burst, but he has 100 meter, and usually 100 meter is always the great equalizer.
Whoop, 50 spent on this Scarecrow PRC, and that's going to be enough. Lurry pulling up on you. I was complimenting these players for going for that 2-step neutral, right? When you go full screen, how do you use it? This time, Lurry using it to sneak in on Neptunest and take her out with that Scarecrow PRC. Great stuff. We're up here 2-0.
Yeah, the tricks up Lurry's sleeve are definitely not limited to anything, so you've got to be mindful at all times that Scarecrow PRC comes with very different applications depending on if you go P Scarecrow, K Scarecrow, or even S Scarecrow. There's a matter of mental stack that comes with that kind of option. I mean, some would even call it a reversal at times. But for Neptunest, you're holding well, you're doing well, you're getting Lurry in a lot of key areas, but now we're in game 3. A lot of your hand has already been shown, and Lurry, we're just seeing more of the tricks come out of the bag.
For sure, man. Lurry definitely seasoned in terms of having a bunch of tricks up our sleeve, right? Having a whole arsenal of tools. I mean, Lurry's a dad now, man. You got to have tools. You got to have a tool belt if you're going to be a father out here, right? Lurry said, hey, I know how to fix this. I got it. Going to be able to send you through here,
with
man.
one on the way. And with one on the way, mind you.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Congrats.
From what I've heard, right?
Okay,
there's one on the way. So you gotta be willing to put in the work, but man, he really takes a lot of time from being a dad to also being a competitor. It takes a lot of responsibility, and I don't blame him, dude. Like, he finds time in every day to still grind it out and be one of the best in the game.
See what we got here. Trying to be one of the best with these bombs right now. Neptunest getting picked up on that second one. Lurry linking into that 5K. I like the timing on that burst. Neptunest almost was able to combo off that burst with Lurry's third bomb there. By the way, 3 bombs. My gosh. These bots are looking good right now, Kappa.
Oh, not able to do much off the YRC. Very good escape from Lurry, but now we're looking at dead man's land. We have no resources to our name, but Neptunest is starting to bleed a little bit on the stand. J2K gonna nullify the entirety of that 2D, but the minions do come out against their big man himself. Neptunest, unfortunately, gonna be bowing out from the winner's quarterfinal side. Gonna be heading down to the loser's side. Lurry taking it with a 3-0, but don't let the result fool you. It definitely went a lot closer than you anticipated.
Now, QueenKoa been violent on this ABBA. She doesn't care who you are. She doesn't care who she's playing against. This ABBA is going to be going for those clips, man. Very consistent, highly placing competitor, but going to be coming up against Hazen. I'm going to keep it a buck, Kappa. Hazen, you got to correct me. This may be one of your first Jeeklys, at the very least my first time commentating with them on stream. So Hazen, great stuff, but you pointed it out. It's first time on Jeekly, but y'all know who this HC is.
Yeah, you definitely know who this HC of all people is. I mean, you've seen memes about it. You've seen all kinds of conversations about Hazen, but those conversations start going out of the water the moment you start having to play him on the stick. So you've got to be willing to go blow for blow with a player and competitor of this caliber as we get that Deus Ex Machina, going to cash it all in for that hard knockdown.
All right. Jealous Rage GPC. QueenKoa. We're trying to barre engineer to get out of this corner, but Hazen not going to let you, using that OTG to finish it off.
It was a desync.
A desync? Now, looking good to me?
It's, what the hell? Hazen, it said Hazen left the room for me. That's weird. All right, let me pull up your screen.
Yeah, they're playing on my screen. They're playing on my screen, at least. But we'll keep our eye on that. Looking good right now. Hazen gonna get this back throw. Queen trying to block out some of these FDs right now. Rather blocking with that FD. Getting awesome double jump right there. The Hazen was following with that air throw a little too plus on that throw right back. QueenKoa fights out the corner.
And not only that, but you have to deal with the hell on earth that is full jealousy ABBA. We are gonna bait that YRC, but we don't get the punish even with the BRC slowdown. That 33% really coming in full effect. Hazen able to take game 1, but I don't know what happened. Like, Hazen just left the room for me. Let me leave the room and come back. Let me try this again.
Yeah, because I see them on my end. So, but
yeah, for me, they, like I said, Hazen left and it kicked me out of spectate.
It can definitely be weird at times. I mean, we're all over the place. I think Kappa, aren't you West Coast?
I'm actually in the East Coast now. I'm in Florida.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm Northeast, and Hazen I think is Northwest, and I don't know where QueenKoa is. Point is that we're all over the damn planet. So, like,
I mean,
whatever connection
mention,
we get, it's what we're gonna get, Gab. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I mean, whatever it is, we do what we gotta. But yeah, you mentioned just like the East Coast and the West Coast, right? QueenKoa definitely representing that West Coast, Cali all day long. I may be in Florida, but I bleed Southern California all day long. And QueenKoa is definitely one of the reps that I cheer on every time I get the chance. But Hazen now back to the wall, dealing with the fuzzies. You've got to be ready for those. But Hazen gonna have to deal with a lot of hell on earth because we got a full bar of jealousy to contest with.
And I love using that 5H, those far/normals, just slamming on the round start, especially when you got that jealous rage. Even on the soft knockdown, you can keep your opponent jailed down. QueenKoa keeping that momentum up and pushing that advantage, but Hazen picking up with a J2K right on the round start.
Forcing that burst out. She's going to pop that jealousy. We are waiting a little bit, trying to use that to cancel off of the clone, but unfortunately not going to be able to do much there. Hazen, very smartly so, going to waste that jealousy rage. Not going to use that knockdown whatsoever. Just staying outside of that range, getting caught by that 5H. No extension for Koa, but still able to chase.
Oh, catching the backdash with JD here. Koa gets her jealous rage filled up, waits a second to see if Hazen wants to spend that burst, doesn't fall for it, and weaves it in on that next interaction, so finds a chance to get out of that corner. Low on the ammo here, but QueenKoa with that force uninstall, both players low on resources.
Able to catch, try to go for the J2K, but you got the 2S, the great equalizer for QueenKoa, gonna even things out. You've got to be willing to recognize that a button like that comes once in a blue moon, and for ABBA, it is a godsend. A 7-frame button in normal mode, and then an absolute diabolical one in Jealousy, man. What could go wrong with a button like that?
Whew. Great stuff, man. QueenKoa. I love seeing, first off, does ABBA 2S hitting? God, that move looks so good when it hits.
It feels cathartic. I definitely get a lot of catharsis for seeing J2K lose to something like anything. So to see that 2S even win against it, it definitely gives me a sense. It gives me a cathartic feeling in my heart. But for Hazen, he's not worried about how I feel. He's worried about winning this game, as he is trying to drain a lot of that Jealousy gauge and get that hard knockdown, forcing that burnout out of Jealousy.
You got the clones keeping you up as well. Very good special move against ABBA, now that I think about it, just keeping that character back, especially when she doesn't have any of that Jealousy to play with. So Hazen in a great spot with this hard knockdown. QueenKoa is so low on those resources, trying to make something work, but wasn't able to get that pull up.
Yeah, that hit scan off the projectile, one of the biggest reasons why Happy Chaos is so deadly as well. Just instead of the usual fireball, it's just a hit scan, and there's not really much you could do about it, all things considered. It's got to be a major read if you have the tools to combat it. But as it stands, QueenKoa holding steady, but gets opened up eventually. Gonna go through that wall, Hazen just building up on that positive bonus.
Pulling up on you here with some of those stagger K normals. Hazen is trying to see if we can't get Koa to press. And probably didn't expect the far slash to be pressed of all buttons, but she's going to take advantage of that. Going to try to pull up that clone, doing exactly what it needs to, putting up the wall. RedRC to try to see if Koa will go for the burst. I like that we were still able to find the burst bait with that gunshot after. Hazen looking good, 2-1.
For sure. I mean, a character like Happy Chaos is always nigh. He is the undeniable factor that is within this community and within this game, and there's just so little you can do when you're really feeling the wrath of such a heretical figure. But that is just the unfortunate nature of that character. You just got to really weather the storm, and Hazen is playing very well into the strengths of the character. That's the unfortunate reality. You got to really go blow for blow unless you get ran over.
You know, I will point out QueenKoa has played Axel before, or rather, let me be more clear. QueenKoa has a very good Axel and has played it before on the stream and uses it in some specific matchups. So in this case, she is opting for the ABBA, so believes in it in this case against Hazen. I gotta say, on this round start, looking good.
Able to trade, that actually benefits Koa quite a lot, especially with 100 resources on deck. Gonna go for the fuzzies yet again. Maybe keep it burst safe to prevent Hazen from bursting out. Though this might not do a lot of damage, it does enough to be able to get the kill shot. Hazen gonna fall for the first round of game 4.
QueenKoa looking good here. Showing you that ABBA has what it takes. Blocking out some of these shots here from Hazen. That 5D does connect. That gunshot gets us another knockdown. Taking our wins here to put ABBA in the corner. That high defense helping you out for a moment there to try to keep that HP as high as it has been despite Hazen getting these licks in. And now we're just going for some slump pressure, just committing to finishing off QueenKoa while she's sitting on that full burst. You can get wall splat as many times as Hazen will allow you to, but you can't get more burst than what you have.
That's just the unfortunate situation that you find yourself in with Happy Chaos. 7 golden letters, and you got to deal with one more round for your winner side run to remain intact. Trying to pull up with that tap dust, gonna get uppercutted, forcing that burst out. Koa just having to unleash the horde, but we're watching as the resources are fading. Not able to get that uninstall in time, Jeek, but as it stands, you gotta survive the onslaught, and as of right now, QueenKoa is bleeding on the stand.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Jealousy to play with here. Hazen going to go into that Deus Ex. As long as we're fast enough, he's going to be able to combo you through. One more hit will take it. QueenKoa, she does have this tension to play with, does have her Wild Assault and Deflect Shield. The resources are there, but it would have been a miracle to weave in. Hazen with that victory. Going to be moving on 3-1.
considering how well Venom is just able to generate meter and just control the screen, this definitely is becoming a more difficult matchup as the patch continues to be moving forward. So for Test Your Luck, the biggest thing is to make sure you do not get caught in that never-ending loop of Stinger.
Lasagna Slayer, you're talking about Stinger. We're opting for that Venom. Now, not too surprised about this pick. Y'all have been seeing Lasagna Slayer pull out this Venom very confidently in some of these online brackets. Of course, been playing it in ladder for a while now. Lasagna Stinger, I just noticed the name, by the way. But Test Your Luck, of course, if you've seen Test Your Luck in a bracket, you've been seeing them on this Nagoriyuki being very violent.
Definitely plays what I would like to call the textbook Nago, especially for this patch. Do the damage, get the situation, loop it over and over again. And Test Your Luck really epitomizes what it means to be playing High Blood Nago on a consistent basis. Not going to show any level of fear and willing to just take risks where a lot of players would be a little bit more cautious. And that kind of shows the level of potency that he offers, just that mental stack, allowing him to just approach further. But now we got the Dark Angel to control the screen alongside those pool balls.
Test Your Luck going down here. Does have our burst, though, into this last round. As honestly, we're not far behind, though, so we're pretty even on these resources. Does get the trade hit pickup with Far Slash. Great stuff there. Test Your Luck. Now got you thrown here in the corner as well. Good block from Lasagna Slayer, but Test Your Luck finding these licks.
Trying to just make sure that he gets the meaty, that mental stack with the BSU involved, staying outside of that burst and preventing Lasagna Slayer from getting any momentum going. That first game goes to Test Your Luck, and it is looking about as solid as one can get. Lasagna Slayer had no say going into round number 3.
We gotta see, man. Of course, zoners in general, when that Nago gets up to that high blood, I mean, you can speak to it more than I can, but able to keep them back at times with some of those quick projectiles, especially that H Stinger, man. And of course, if Test Your Luck can get in, start biting you a couple times, you think you're going to see that second hit of Shizu, the overhead's going to come out. Nope, you're getting command grabbed. Oh my god, the round's over. Here we go, game 2.
Yeah, but a lot of that potency has been mitigated, though, as the patch did nerf a lot of key tools for Nagoriyuki. Like just notably, the Beyblade Low no longer existing allows for people to just dash block more reliably by comparison to last patch. And Wild Assault losing a lot of that RC property did get rid of such a really potent tool for him. But here we are, we're going to get that hard knockdown, refund all of our blood gauge off that Waziriyuki, setting up that positive bonus to loop on in just a moment.
Oh, the throw comes out. And so does that red RC. Lasagna Slayer feeling good about this round. I mean, yeah, if you got the Dark Angel to back yourself up, of course. I like that air throw here from Test Your Luck, but Lasagna Slayer uses that to put you here in the corner, so regardless, doesn't get that follow-up hit on the Robo-Kai, and Test Your Luck gets out of the corner.
Yeah, this is the kind of position that Lasagna Slayer wants to take advantage of. Force Test Your Luck to play this very risky, blood-heavy game. But for Lasagna Slayer, unfortunately, going to get caught by this Armiyuki. And again, just willing a full send it from full screen. Test Your Luck is not afraid of spending the cash or for the economy that he lives in.
Trying to get these pickup hits. Test Your Luck, trying to force our way in, and I like using that White Wild Assault to do so. These counter hits confirms in the Far Slash have been really wise here from Test. Going to use that fast PRC to weave in a throw. The second hit Shizu does come out, but Lasagna Slayer was ready with the YRC.
Yeah, and using that Shizuriyuki to get the full pickup. That is no nonsense, no funny business from Test Your Luck, making quick work of Lasagna Slayer into game number 2. Definitely 1 foot to the door. He just needs to take another step, and he makes that winner side top 24. Lasagna Slayer having a difficult time of really maintaining that game plan for the long period.
Oh, man. These are some cool Nago combos, man. I gotta say, Test Your Luck. Things are just going our way right now. We're finding the thread, right? But Test Your Luck gonna have to close it out hot against this Lasagna Slayer Goldlewis. Gonna pull out the main here in this game 3. Test Your Luck with a confident burst on this round start.
Yeah, nice smash out there. That is a good gap check. That's one that you got to be really willing to go for. And unfortunately for Test Your Luck, this is the downside of playing such a very aggressive style. Now he's going to have to contest with no longer having that health reserve on standby. It's a big trade-off you got to play with here as Lasagna Slayer just holding out for dear life. Going to use the laser to really counteract anything that Test Your Luck has. And unfortunately for Test Your Luck, going into round number 2, he's not going to have any burst to contend with Lasagna Slayer's brutality.
Lasagna Slayer going to spend that first burst here. Doesn't want to be sent to the wall. Doesn't want this Nago to start getting any of that positive, man. Great pickup there on that 5K after. Try to keep it going. Unfortunately, Lasagna Slayer going to be able to at least find, after that drop, a chance to go for that drone. Test Your Luck doesn't walk right into it. In fact, takes the space to ourselves. Gets this Goldlewis back to the corner. The second hit, Shizu gets blocked and catches the backdash with the delay close slash. Test Your Luck puts ourselves on the set point with this blood pop combo.
Yeah, but we do give a little bit of more burst for Lasagna to play with. So there is a very high possibility that Lasagna Slayer will be able to mount the offensive, especially with him being such a very liberal user of Wild Assault. And Test Your Luck, try to get the extension. Maybe thought the juggle height was a little higher than he wanted, but not enough height. We are going to swap to the corner and just go for mix off the hard knockdown.
I hear on this blood, but in your face, able to get it all refreshed back. Great bite there from Test. That counter hit close slash. Tries to get a bait on that burst after Lasagna Slayer not falling for it. Uses that Beyblade security cancel to cross you up. Red RC to keep the combo going. And Test Your Luck won't be able to go for that super. Lasagna Slayer with an early overdrive cancel gets our first game on the board.
Shaking my damn head. Lasagna Slayer, you've done it again. Just representing the Rafflecopter. We taking a look at the instant replay, man. This Rafflecopter, it shows no discrimination whatsoever. And if you look very closely, Test Your Luck was very close to getting that burst as well. Very good recognition from Lasagna Slayer to isolate a threat and to take that win. That was a very important round for him.
All right, well, now that everyone's looking at the second monitor, I got some commands. Exclamation point Matcherino to claim those codes that goes directly to the players. Bottom left is the prize pool, $52 in the pot already. If you want to claim some of those free codes, please check it out. Also, exclamation point YouTube, this VOD and others get uploaded over there. Would love to have you watching those ones. Lasagna Slayer gonna close out this Test Your Luck blood pop, man. I can't even shout nothing out, man. Lasagna Slayer too aggressive.
Frustration starting to mount up on Test Your Luck. We saw a lot of that reserve blood mitigation. He was very well balanced when it came to that previously, but now we're starting to see a lot more initiative be taken, and it's starting to work against Test Your Luck at this moment in time. Lasagna Slayer getting important gap checks here and there, but Test Your Luck able to sneak in that bite.
The 6H keeping you down, very vertical move right there. The 2H keeping you back. Also very vertical move. Tries to go for the bite, but Lasagna Slayer finds it on the perfect fuzzy jump.
Oh, not enough blood. Lasagna Slayer was hoping that blood pop was coming to get that free round to make it game 5, but Test Your Luck, a sliver of blood, just enough to keep him in the round long enough to just take it to set point.
Strong stuff, man. Tests with these Fukios around, putting ourselves at the right place at the right time, trying to not let Lasagna Slayer get too much spacing to get any of these drones out. Gets a nice counter hit BT for our trouble. Scoops you back, and in fact, gonna put Test into the corner now. That blood looking high too. You're gonna have to try to fight out here. Nice 5K.
That was a great gap check too. That could have gone from bad to worse for Test Your Luck. And we do get some of that blood back, fortunately for him, but we do not have any meter to play with. Great backdash from Lasagna Slayer. Absolute demonic fuzzy. And we get the game 5 all the same. Lasagna Slayer gonna even things out with the big man Goldlewis.
Whew. Holy moly. Well, here's the replay for y'all. Lasagna Slayer and Test Your Luck putting on a show, bro. Look at those delay jumps. Test Your Luck delaying that close slash for seconds, bro. Trying to get Lasagna Slayer to get counter hit by it, but the jump is perfect every time. Oh man, we're going to game 5.
These fuzzies are demonic in nature, but that is the kind of stuff you expect to see from the Den of Demons. And Lasagna Slayer, being one of Yokai's aces, is not afraid to let defense be his main stay point. Gonna let that drone fly, try to use the Wild Assault to get through, successfully does so, but now we're working with very minimal blood, half our burst as well, but we just came up on 50% tension.
Gonna be able to get all that blood back here. Lasagna Slayer does have that security as well. You want to pay attention to that in moments where Lasagna Slayer can get out of the corner and get time to go for the drones, but test your luck. Uses the Wild Assault to negate that special move, and with some blood spend, trying to pull up on this Goldlewis. One piece of chip will do it, and it's going to be that last follow-up on Slash. Lasagna Slayer going down as Test Your Luck moves on to set point.
I don't think anybody talks about it enough, and I don't think anybody would have even noticed, right? That Behemoth Typhoon whiffing, that wasn't by accident. That was intentional by Test Your Luck, just using the unique properties of Fukio as well. Technically has chest up invulnerability, shifts the hurt box a little downwards, so that was a very smart play from Test Your Luck. We do go even in the rounds now as Lasagna Slayer finishes it off. We're now down to the decider to see who stays in winner's side.
Oh man, Scoopy into this corner. I like that spin of the flex shield. Oh no, punish on the 2H. Nice jump though. Trying to stay away from these bites. Lasagna Slayer trying to block it out a bit, but Test Your Luck chasing you down on this Nago. Dude, this 2H is just unpunishable, it feels like.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Test Your Luck, the situations have been reversed off the burn it down. We are in the corner. We do have the YRC, our saving grace into this setup. Now we're down to even life for both players. He's gonna get the back throw off of the Fukio check, and all we need is to be able to seal it. Not enough for Lasagna Slayer. We just need to get one more hit to be able to seal it out. And unfortunately for Test Your Luck, a mistimed Wild Assault is gonna give the victory over to Lasagna Slayer. But moving into it, we got winners top 24. We have RedIAmNot insert on the stand. It's going to get really wild very quickly.
Here we go. We got to see what we have out here. Trying to go through these slashes through. Nice stuff, Red. Flicking that FD, blocking you out. Nice catch on your backdash, Red. Trying to just get away from this Mei only for a second, but the Cardinal Sin not blocking against that Mei, getting a perfect insert with a really strong start.
Yeah, not to mention, right? Both these characters, don't let the size difference fool you. This little ocean dweller loves to do damage, and RedIAmNot is gonna have to be very careful moving forward, lest their run go down in flames. Trying to go for that cross up and insert smartly, able to up back in time and defend on the cross up. Able to get that full extension as well just before the burst can come out, keeping it entirely burst safe. Going for that Goshigawara hard knockdown.
Oh, catching that backdash. Insert gets rewarded back with that burst. The burn it down, keeping you here in the corner. Red doing some great stuff here, trying to use that PRC to keep it back to 6P. Counter hit gets answered back with the burst, and insert doesn't need anything more than a single hit to finish off this set, but Red just churning that BT, goddamn!
Like, once isn't enough, twice isn't enough, third time's the charm into yet another knockdown. You gotta be ready, you gotta be willing, and you gotta be able. Insert gonna have to answer back for those atrocious crimes against humanity, and we are gonna do that as we call upon Yamada from the great beyond.
Oh man, insert clapping you right back here with a very strong round 1 and with a round 3 here. Red holding on to that burst, not falling for that bait quite yet. Insert using that 5P to keep this Goldlewis down. Spends that 50 tension on this counter hit BT. Red fighting back.
Yeah, I mean, a sliver of life. They never stopped RedIAmNot from competing and winning out. I mean, just a minute ago, you saw how quickly RedIAmNot was able to clinch it. Great backdash, Fuzzy, to be able to deal with that overhead. And able to get the punish just in time. Insert taking first blood.
Insert definitely doing some good stuff out here. Very patient with that FD, keeping back our opponent. In the moment it was right to send that S Dolphin, was able to find Red whiffing that BT and was able to get in with that special move to close out the round. I mean, one counter hit, you're down there. So Insert doing a good job of finding the right moment, and with a walk back whiff punish gets the burst from Red on this round start.
Lovely stuff from Insert, able to get the full extension, especially off the FD IEDs, bro. This stuff is very technical. You've got to be able to learn that stuff, and Insert getting some really great confirms as a result. I am not, though, able to switch things around and get the wall break for your troubles. Insert did all the hard work and heavy lifting to get the wall damage, and now you just get to reap the rewards of others' hard work.
Oh, nice with this red RC to keep our turn going here. Insert with a, honestly, I agree with that burst spend, especially because you got 100 tension and it puts your opponent in the corner. Insert gets that hit we need and finishes off that round. Now, you did spend your burst, but hey, you got the round. Red gonna have to come back here.
I mean, a winning round is still a winning round. You got to consider it, right? You're in the lead. You have the benefit of positive bonus, also attributing to something. And should something go wrong, you have the benefit of being able to build up some of that burst back. Just 50 tension, the equal equalizer, just backdashing away. A little bit of that danger penalty has been attributed, but now Insert just trying to get some distance to get a whiff punish, but RedIAmNot slowly winning the positioning war.
Run QB back. Nice job getting this JD hit here. Insert didn't walk down to that corner. This May defense going to help you out a bit in the latter half of this HP bar, and you got 100 tension to play with still too. So Red, oh my god, Insert getting a clash cancel on that 5H. Is able to take this Goldlewis to the corner, but the reversal super comes out. And Red...
But are we going to get the Kara in time? No, we use the split attempt. RedIAmNot calling out the shenanigans. Doesn't let Insert get that one for free. At the very least, though, Insert starts things off with a very good foundation with burst in the lead. Gonna get that wall break as well. Positive bonus couldn't have come at a better time.
We'll see here. Insert trying to catch Red here. I saw the FD getting flicked there, so Red probably trying to look for an opportunity to press out. Insert going to find it, though. Gets the hit, and it gets the close on this game, too.
Yeah, and if you saw that reset was integral, you're going to see it in the instant replay right now. But I loved the decision making from Insert, knowing that the damage that would have stacked from that combo wasn't going to be enough, and just decided to opt for the burst, or the reset, my mistake, and preventing as much resources available for RedIAmNot to be able to fight back post wall break. And honestly, I don't even think RedIAmNot was ready for it either. So we do have a very important 2-0 lead to get that winner side top 8. But going into this is where things get scary, because the adaptation period is now commenced.
Insert being aggressive with that run-up round start here. Red was able to get in with our JH. Nice stuff. I love checking the Dolphin there with that 2P.
Get that dash 2K as well. No punish yet. RedIAmNot using that burst aggressively to just secure that corner and just keep Insert out of the game. A nice smash out. That 4-framer really is helpful for Insert's cause as we go for the run-up throw.
Nice blocks here from Red. And a good jump timing as well. Insert trying to catch you, but Red not falling for it. Gotta say, man, these Goldlewis players, they know when they're about to get thrown.
Solid defense on the strike throw situations that Insert was trying to represent. So far, it's been working out for Insert. But at this moment in time, we're just going to keep it going off the split attempts and getting all this damage mounted up. Fully charged 6H into a neutral wall break. But positive bonus is going to be able to give Insert that burst going into another round.
Checking with these BTs here. Oh my god, that counter hit was insane. Insert fighting through despite that drone pressure. Red getting closed out in that round. Now we're back on set point.
And I think what makes it even scarier, right, is that was a huge gamble for Insert's part. That far slash just narrowly able to snip RedIAmNot from the skybox. That would have easily been RedIAmNot's winning situation. But Insert, that bravery really comes once in a blue moon. You've got to make good on your chances. And Insert able to do the business, but RedIAmNot is on that pivotal point to be able to at least return the favor and to mitigate this deficit.
Some good pressure here from Insert, but did I not say these Goldlewis players, man, they just know when the throw is coming. Red felt it, goes for that up back, finishes out the round here against Insert, and we're getting one here on the board. That being said, Insert, not only do we already had this 2-game lead, but the rounds we are winning, they're quick, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. So Insert definitely feeling pretty strong here. Red feeling good about that one game.
Yeah, but let's not understate how important that victory was, especially off of that situation. Insert trying to go for that very patented run-up throw off the split attempt. RedIAmNot utilizing that IBFD to put some distance, really offered a lot of space for RedIAmNot to really just transition into that fuzzy jump. And Insert, not recognizing it in time, did get caught out at the end, forcing that burst in the early going. Insert now gonna have to work with that burst, without that burst for quite a while. RedIAmNot decides we got to go back to mid-screen, start things all over from the beginning.
Nice YRC getting this Goldlewis off of you. Some of that damage already dealt, man. But that being said, Insert still fighting back and sending through this 2H and evening up the HP bars effectively, essentially. Catching with that 5P, the 5D red RC will be enough to close it out. Insert coming back that round, actually. Oh my gosh. So what you're about to see right here is the round starting. Insert right here, closing out that last round. We're going to see what we got with this clash here on that BT, catching you back with that far slash counter hit. The burst gets spent by Red to push it back. Some of these BTs to zone you as well. Trying to piece back with this drone. Red very active with these JDs, very active with these special moves in general. Insert trying to close in. Yamada-san with a lot of damage with that overdrive, the hard knockdown, the boot. Insert building up this tension with that positive bonus. Red in the air. Tries to get in with that BT, the counter hit on that anti-air. Insert going to close this one out with that wild assault. And that's going to be that set. 3-1. Insert moving on with the perfect.
That was a great check as well. Insert a little bit of a break that was given the situation at hand, but very, very amazing performance here. CPU, Lakey, Faust versus Baiken. And already starting things off, Lakey is able to take first blood in that first engagement and really force CPU to use that burst as well. Fighting for that trumpet, and the little guys, they're not going to be applicable for some time.
Yeah, this CPU needs a chance to fight back here. Gets that backdash here. Oh my gosh, I love being able to weed out that 2H, but Lakey very parry heavy right now, I gotta say. Uses the trade hit on the bomb, even though it's still connected with Lakey. CPU and that hit stun, Lakey was able to use it for our combo tool.
Yeah, I mean, gotta love it, man. You really gotta love it. I mean, if it works, then why are you arguing? Meteor's not gonna be able to hit right in the moment that CPU needed it most. I know if Izzy were watching this, he would definitely be pointing at the screen saying, see, I told you, meteors don't work.
Nice stuff here with this 6H routing. Lakey gonna get bursted back here, deflect shielded rather. The 4 comes out, but I like the BRC to keep it safe.
That was really smart play from CPU. Great recognition, too, to react in time. But Lakey's going to hit confirm into the Sanzu. Make it quick, make it splashy, but make sure to take the point with you. Game 1 going to Lakey.
Lakey, I like how we were able to use that air dash back JS to fight back here against CPU, who was also being pretty confident as well, right? You saw that she was already queuing up that 5H to try to fight back here against that S tether pressure. But Lakey getting that first game here on the board. I was saying earlier, there's a chance, there's a chance that you see some other characters from either of these players. Having fun watching what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, I love just watching just how CPU gets down and jiggy with it, especially off of the Faust. Good trade hit off the 2K, anti-airing from the skybox. Nice neutral gameplay from CPU, just able to crawl underneath the Kabari, which Lakey has been representing and threatening with very often from mid-screen.
Oh, that Scarecrow PRC getting blocked out here. Lakey doing some good stuff. Tries to get out the corner with that Johnson.
The minions, they come out to play, but we do round just in time to be able to get that hard knockdown off the thrust. Mini Faust still in play, and best of all, we were able to get ourselves out of the corner. Yet another display of the little guys just coming out, but the bone-crushing excitement is going to win out. First and foremost, let's take it to the ICU.
Nice stuff here, man. CPU trying to get some distance back on that round start. Very patient here. I gotta say, CPU just walking back, looking for a good moment to look for a far/2H Gatling, and not much else. I mean, that's all we need. The Meteor does connect, does get some good hits here. That Mini Faust keeps the pressure up. Lakey with enough backdashes to get danger bonus, but does put this Faust back in the corner.
And here it is. There's the win con, able to get that JD off to be able to get out of the corner, as well as put Lakey into an unfavorable position. The Mini Faust able to secure it, and now we get another trip to the emergency room. Gonna have to find a way to heal that femur. Lakey going down. We even things up. Even Steven 1-1.
CPU getting a game here on the board. That parry still trying to keep you back. I gotta say, Lakey been very good about these these parries in this matchup, but CPU not falling for them quite yet. Also been taking some great advantage of these items that we've been getting between the Mini Faust, between our bombs, between our meteors. CPU always able to adapt to those item tosses.
Yeah, and not only that, you mentioned this earlier, right? You mentioned the neutral habits of CPU. And I think that in particular, I just love the patience. It's so frustrating to be on the receiving end of that. I've had experience in it before, and let me tell you, it is never a fun time to play with someone like CPU, who's just more than comfortable playing it incredibly lame and finding these opportunities like she is now.
It's that 6K counter hit for ourselves. Lakey trying to keep that pressure going, but CPU gonna 4 you back. Enough time to get some items out, but Lakey's still able to S-tether through.
Able to get that Scarecrow PRC, but able to take the throw on top of that. Trade benefiting CPU in a very favorable position. Gonna go OTG with the 2S, and now we just call upon any item available to us. Unfortunately for CPU, that did not work out as intended. Gonna get clipped at the end and give Lakey that round.
The Tommy gonna go for the reset air dash. CPU trying to go for a throw. Lakey taking advantage of that one with a counter hit. Nice stuff here, building up that meter, but crawled right through that Kabari. At least you had the burst to keep yourself safe. PRC to keep that pressure up. CPU pushing you back with this far slash.
Very precise buttons, but finally we get to see a parry work out and a little bit of a flashy approach. You couldn't even see where Lakey was, but by the time the explosion went away, CPU trying to keep it pristine. We are on a losing round at the moment, but the Scarecrow, the mental stack has been perceived. Now you call upon the hammers, but not able to get much going for us. Great call out off the 6P. Just need enough to route this in, and this is perfect for CPU. Evens things out, and now she has burst to play with.
Great stuff to close out that round. Pressing that far slash back. CPU was ready with her burst, though. Tries to weave in a thrust, but Lakey knows how to get that JS in. Bends the burst as CPU tries to get out of that corner. At least does get out of the corner, so hey, take that one as a win. Gets a whiff punish here on Lakey's approach on that 2H. Just trying to get around this Faust if we can, but CPU using this trumpet to push you back.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a reset attempt more than an escape route, but I think CPU just actually benefited in the long haul, especially getting out of that corner just in case that burst was applicable, and rightfully so. This is now a very doable position for CPU to win off of, as they are now up 2-1. She is on fire, and she is ready to get that winner's side top 8.
We'll see, man. CPU on this. I mean, I gotta say, she definitely, I mean, you said it earlier, right? She's definitely the Faust believer, right? She puts this, pushes this character to the limit. So definitely not surprised if this is going to be CPU's run, you know, or rather happy to see what we're seeing right now. Lakey going to get that counter 2H though, answer back with the burst. Has to use that block still. The hammer did come out. CPU takes advantage of that with this run up throw.
Has been lit on fire, so there's only so much time before it explodes until that very moment. CPU has the trumpet, has the ability to just lock it down and call upon every item at our disposal. Explosion gives us this cross-up sandwich situation that we need. CPU is just really giving it to Lakey large.
Here we go, man. CPU trying to qualify for this top 8 winner side. Already having a lead here against this Baiken, but Lakey, many-time top 4 up here in the Jeekly, trying to get into this top 8 winner side. Not trying to let anyone take us down, but CPU may just be doing exactly that, closing out the round with the 4. She's sitting here on set point.
Yeah, Lakey really just getting caught out by unfortunate item luck. CPU really has been favored by the gods of item luck. Lakey able to escape off a very important parry. Now we're back at mid-screen, right where he wants to be, but great throw check on the blue wild assault. CPU crossing over. Lakey wasn't prepared. Now we got to deal with this hard knockdown. The hammers are coming, and so too is 100 meter on deck.
Trying to air dash away from this Faust, but the 6P comes out. CPU with that red RC to line this one up, and it's going to be that overdrive to finish it. CPU moves on to that winner's side, top 8, 3-1.
Definitely one of the last bastions when it comes to this character. The only bastion really you got to keep note of too, and really has been holding it down for years now, like getting so many good performances, even getting a runner-up at EVO 2025. You've got to keep in mind this man plays so well at a major level, but here he is gracing us with his presence as Insert really starting things off in such an explosive fashion into the Arc World Tour champion.
Yeah, I mean, May saying, hey, I don't care who you are. Insert looking good out here with some quick play. Going to spend that burst here on the S sword, so resource spent. RedDitto trying to fight back with that 5H. The throw comes out. The JD gets us on that other side here. RedDitto with some strong play. I did not expect that immediate wall splat. RedDitto going to send you through.
Yeah, there's one thing RedDitto is definitely not afraid to go blow for blow with some of the stiffest competitors in the region, but more so not just the region, but across the world, man. This man has traveled various different places and has put up some major numbers, but tonight he's going to be facing off against the young prospect in Insert, who's going through the wall off a neutral wall break.
Trying to catch you with that 3K. Good whip punish here from RedDitto. Tries to go for those wipers. I like keeping yourself safe with that PRC. Insert trying to fight back out of that drop. The throw going to open you up here. I see that burst. We got to get a chance to spend it, but RedDitto not going to let you as we get a perfect for the first game.
Yeah, definitely an explosive start from Insert, but unfortunately for him, RedDitto has always been known for his ability to close out even the toughest of games. So it's going to be a very large hill to climb up, but Insert is doing his damnedest, and he is performing pretty well given the circumstances. Definitely making RedDitto bleed. If you can make a god bleed, then people will start to believe less in the myth and the legend.
Let's see what we got up here going in the game 2. RedDitto already getting that first one on the board, guys. Both these players would definitely appreciate if y'all can keep contributing to that prize pool with the exclamation point Matcherino command. Would really appreciate y'all claiming those free claim codes. Big shout outs to number7vr for that direct contribution, getting us up to $74. This PRC gonna get connected by this burst. Insert gonna get out of the corner with that 3K. Doesn't whip punish this time. In fact, it's a throw punish for our trouble.
Nice FD jump JK, this time staying same side with the J2H, and we are just going to secure that hard knockdown. No funny business. We do not want RedDitto to even get a sniff of the game. Full screen run-up throw into the overhead kiss. This boy has no fear.
Seeing that counter hit S Dolphin in the throw as well. Insert linking off with that 5P. I love these May combos, man. Insert definitely no stranger to pulling out the sauce. Gonna keep this. Oh, unfortunately couldn't connect that tap. Thus RedDitto taking advantage of the drop.
And not only that, keeping it simple as well to just control the corner. Gonna cash it all in for that hard knockdown as well. 40% done, but Insert has all that meter to really play with. Doesn't spend the full bar. He just wants to make sure he has advantage state. Try to go for that reverse bait, locking RedDitto out of that burst, but still goes for it anyway. PRC mix, Gonna get that whiff punish off the 5H. All it takes is one hit and the 2D to even things out. Insert gets a point on the board against the Arc World Tour champion.
Nice stuff here, man. Insert. I mean, definitely not surprised that Insert has been able to squeeze out this round based off how quickly we've been playing, especially with that first game. Of course, RedDitto was able to come out on top, but don't forget, Insert was scrapping it out that whole time, and with a 2-round lead there to finish it off too. I mean, I don't know. We got a set on our hands all of a sudden, guys. RedDitto, Arc World Tour reigning champion. Insert, gonna see what we can do here.
Yeah, and even with the patch changing, right, this doesn't really change how well RedDitto can perform on the grandest stages. This man knows a thing or two about high pressure situations. So for RedDitto, he's just making quick work of this situation, trying to make sure that Insert doesn't get a sniff of the game, but Insert is holding steadfast.
The wipers to send you through, get as much damage as we can. Insert holding on to this burst still. Gets a 5P for troubles to get out of that corner. RedDitto slamming those slash normals. Doesn't let you fight too long for that one. Insert still has that burst here though.
Yeah, one of the biggest things and one of the biggest strengths that I'm seeing from RedDitto's side, even though Insert is going to get that wall break, is RedDitto's just desire to just not want to overcomplicate things. He's just doing things that you would definitely see more on the basic side of things, but he does these things so well that there's really very little time to deviate or any need to deviate. But for Insert, he's got a whole lot of bags and has a whole lot of tricks up his bag. He's trying to pull them all out just to get that advantage over RedDitto.
Red blocking out that 5D and these lows as well. Defense was too good. Insert's going to get that throw for our troubles in the OTG as well. Insert in their previous games is, from what I remember, pretty throw heavy, so able to get that stagger, able to get their opponent blocking, and then get that command out. RedDitto blocking it out again here, gets opened up by that S Dolphin, does get out of the corner, but Insert trying to keep that damage up.
Yeah, he does get that tap dust off of the hard knockdown with the beach ball setup, and he is going to get yet another positive bonus loop. This is really good timing because burst is almost on the table for RedDitto. If we can advance on our advantage state, this would be really great. We do get the hard knockdown off the Aggressor Ordana, forcing that sword toss, and we just go for the reset off for the 2K.
Nice stuff here, Insert, with so much tension. We'll be able to go for this RC Killer Whale. Oh man, even RedDitto didn't expect that throw to come out. Insert with that bag of tricks Kappa was talking about. Gonna be moving on 2-1, or up 2-1 so far. Of course, no one's moving on quite yet. RedDitto down a game here though. Gonna have to win 2 here if we're gonna try to make up to that winners finals. Insert threatening the upset already.
Definitely so, and this is where pressure really starts to mount for RedDitto, right? This would definitely do major work for Insert's confidence to put a behemoth and a titan of this caliber down to the loser's side. But Insert's still got a long way to go before he can start celebrating. He's got to stay composed before he starts even thinking about the next match onward. Tries to keep the burst safe. RedDitto, recognizing this, just decides to be disciplined and hold off for the next transition.
Getting opened up by that Daro here. Good spacing from RedDitto, showing you how oppressive that Ramlethal can be with that 5H, man. Insert, despite that, able to jump in. Early cancel on that Dolphin. Is going to get a counter hit for us. RedDitto holding on to that burst here. Insert going to get a hard knockdown for our troubles.
And on top of that, getting it off the car as well. Just getting a little bit more of that meter build for Insert. Going to go for the cross, forcing that YRC from RedDitto. Tries to go for the flip kicks. Insert now going to be going through that wall, but we don't get the hard knockdown. Insert, on the other hand, has a whole lot of resources to burn through and goes for the cross-up JD. This kid has so many tricks up his sleeve, and he's busting them out at every given turn. RedDitto thinks he's got it all figured out until the kid busts out a new one for the whole time.
Man, yeah, Insert just is able to scrap. Nice counter hit 5H and follow up after. RedDitto sent to the wall here on a hard knockdown, but completely full on those resources. AWT champion has got to use those to the best of his ability if we're going to get out of this corner. Insert trying to keep that lead up here on this set point. Getting blocked out. This Ramlethal defense is too good.
Just really solid work from RedDitto to just try and turn the set into his favor, but these trades are mounting. Nice recognition from Insert. There's still a burst on the table you got to be careful about. And RedDitto, just knowing the burst bait is coming, is able to be disciplined enough to just get a momentum swing. There's still a lot of time left over for Insert to be able to get the win, but RedDitto is on the move, and he is trying to get that corner. Baits out the YRC and is able to steal the round away from the young buck himself. That is 1-1 in the rounds. RedDitto is still alive.
Unfortunate stuff. It all started with that one bet on throw that RedDitto was ready for the jump for. Now these Wipers were going to threaten a wall splat potentially, but Insert wisely spending that burst. RedDitto going to spend it right back. That 3K able to get you under the whiff bar slash. Definitely some weird hurt box shenanigans happening out here as Insert gets the next hit.
And no time flat as well. We do get that positive bonus because we are in dead man's land. We have no resources to the name. We need that positive bonus to come in quicker. We do catch with the flip kick, and now we get to go over to the other side of the screen, get that hard knockdown. Insert is a threat with 100 meter, and RedDitto knows this. So he goes for the safe jab with the cat scratchers, goes block slow, tries to gamble with the throw again, but Insert not gonna find any dice.
Oh, yeah, the burst does connect. RedDitto has ours as well. Insert gets the throw, and that's going to be the upset. Insert in a last hit situation moves on 3-1. It's going to be Jack versus CPU as our second match here of winner side of top 8, the Jeekly 89. Jack, of course, many-time grand finalist plus winner here at the Jeekly. Kappa, I think it's like 40+ wins at the Jeekly, 50+ wins at the Jeekly or something. It's like an insane number, a number where you're like, no way. It's up there.
Yeah, so almost matching his TNS record, essentially. Mr. TNS, as I like to call him. But I think the biggest title we can give to him right now is Mr. Frosty Faust Champion, man. CPU is going to be playing against one hell of a demon, has finally broken the curse, and something has come alive for Jack, man. And he is doing immense work already. Going to cash it in. Give a shout out to the one time for our friend over at DXG, Danka Extend, spending that deuce 6 months. Money and letting those bullets fly like dollar bills.
There we go. Shouts to Dank, man. Shouts to the chat, guys. Chat coming alive here in this online bracket, man. Jack going to be able to take out this first round in a very close one, though. CPU, fortune wasn't able to finish that one off, but still staying on top here with this J2K. Jack able to get this jump in. Nice FD box to try to get some space back. CPU doesn't want to fall for that that roll, rather. Wants to try to get that space up if we can. Mini Faust backing us up here.
Yeah, Mini Faust is trying to take a little bit of a turn, and we do get a pretty important hit here. CPU just needs to get that situation going in her favor on a consistent note, because Jack is a player you cannot afford to let slip up even once. He just absolutely takes every situation at his disposal and makes it his own. He's got the Midas touch, but right now CPU is making good work on making sure she stays alive in round 2. Now we're going into round number 3, and we're building up some confidence.
Jack gonna burst it back here. I like some of these gunshots. Trying to keep CPU's approach down, but despite that, she's still able to pull up on you with this far slash. With the mix. Jack using the bomb after J2K to actually combo you through the wall. Oh my god, Jack is nasty.
This is why he is known as the demented Happy Chaos player across the North American space, man. There's nothing that he can do that goes wrong, and this is the reason why everything he touches turns to gold, and CPU is feeling the full wrath of Deus Ex Machina post-hard knockdown. Burst is your only saving grace alongside that 50 meter.
Bursting you back. Oh, catching your backdash with that mix. Betting it on that throw, but the PRC does keep you safe here. I like how Jack still wisely respecting the mini Faust. Oh my god, dude, I don't even know what to say. It's like a platform game over that mini Faust, man. Jack hopping around, CPU trying to force on you with the 4 there, but Jack's still able to dance around it.
His defense is second to none, and it is actually amazing. His situational and positional awareness is diabolical in nature. Not a single time did he once procs that mini Faust, and even with CPU launching it straight at him, just never was in doubt at any given point on the screen. You talk about Faust players having that innate screen presence and awareness. Jack is just on a level that is unheard of in this game.
QueenKoa pointed out in the chat, yeah, that first off, I was surprised Mini Faust was still there. Second, what showed up just to be on screen for a second, the steal moment of the show. But anyway,
Bro just hit the cameo, man. He showed up for the cameo.
Yeah, exactly. Bro was just trying to get the cameo, man. And here
Bro
we
hit
go.
the off guard in the middle of the screen.
The appearance fee.
CPU, like Mini Faust just coming out saying, I don't get paid enough for this. This is Jack. This is Jack we're talking about.
I mean, yeah, Jack is top dollar. Oh my God. That burst, of course, going to connect with this super, so the tension does get spent. So a win there for CPU. Jack going to get caught by this 5H here. Once again out of the corner, has to block out this Mini Faust. Good defense, tries to check with that 2K, but CPU still keeping it down here.
The one thing you could take away as CPU as well, if you're CPU, you gotta recognize you can make him bleed, and that is an important part of your confidence boosting. And Mini Faust able to come around and be the saving grace that CPU needs at this moment in time, able to recognize that J2K off the BRC, and great jab check to be able to catch him on the descent.
Nice far slash punish there. Yeah, charging the thrust a little too long there. Jack catching on, says, hey, you can't do it that long. Come on now. Gets a counter hit and sends you through. Looking good here for this HC.
Yeah, you gotta catch him sleeping at the wheel, and that is always a very daunting task, to say the least. CPU is not yet in a position to just make plays like that, and Jack knows it. Is going to get that hard knockdown, and even best of all, he's got 50 meter on standby as well. He's not worried about the burst whatsoever. He's just gonna do what he always does, and he takes the fight to you.
With getting punished here, CPU. Oh, I love this item play. Gonna use that 100-ton weight to keep Jack down in the corner. Despite that, he does get some gunshots to fight back out. I love that 2K to keep you down. Nice counter hit here from CPU, but Jack's still fighting back with this 6P, using the bombs against you.
Using the Scarecrow PRC, able to get past, especially with that resource deficit from Jack's side. We have a lot of options to our name, forcing out the block off of the banana peel, and now we've got a lot to our name. Unfortunately, gonna get caught by the gunshot, but the hammer comes in time to save us, forcing the burst out from Jack. This is very winning for CPU. If she can get this round, this would definitely do a lot to keep her in the long term.
Despite that, Jack was able to get that run up 2K here. CPU giving a lot of respect to these gunshots, to the rolls, and Jack taking advantage of that one. The 5E connects. The gunshot will combo you through. Not enough to kill here. You do get the hard knockdown and resources back. CPU, though, has that bomb at her disposal, has 50 tension, has this deflect shield potentially.
Using that deflect shield, using that K PRC very, very late. Might be enough to get the kill off. We just need to get the OTG with something. Forcing out the deflect shield. One misplay gives her a point to the name. She can make him bleed. She can maybe take the set.
Man, awesome stuff right there from CPU. Dumping all those resources at the end, where Jack wasn't even able to take advantage of that positive bonus that we had just netted, right? So great defensive play there from CPU. Mechanical play. Getting a even up score here. The set just started. Both players showing their full competency. Jack getting a counter hit to start, but CPU ready with the burst.
That bomb does come out in full play. She does successfully backdash away from the threat. Now we don't have any focus to really play with, so all of that's going to happen is CPU has to punish accordingly. But Jack now starting to kick up into a second gear here. No pun intended. We fill up on focus and we fill up our cylinders. So it's time to get down and jiggy with it. You got to deal with the mix post wall break.
100-ton weight. Oh, they actually get the cross up there. Jack was blocking, but CPU with the jump over mixed the things up. Despite that, Jack able to get this Deus Ex in the scramble regardless. CPU does get her burst back, but does go down a round.
Yeah, this is always a good position for CPU to at least fight back with, but at the very least, you know, Jack being on a winning round is always daunting, to say the least. Even on a losing round, you can never be too comfortable being in the position you're at. CPU holding on to that burst. Jack is so graciously trying to burst bait out of. No, only one bullet in the chamber, just manages to reload too, and we have the tap dust, all reliable, and we're just gonna cancel straight into the Deus Ex Machina to do the business.
Jack gonna pull up on you with the same side. CPU getting the 5H there, potentially maybe wanted to do super in the other direction. Let me watch it back. That's probably what we were trying to do here. CPU, of course, trying to call out possibly Jack going for a nasty mix-up here at the end. That would have been nasty, but this HC is still coming out on top.
Maybe was expecting an empty jump of sorts. I'm not entirely sure. Or was probably trying to go for the bone-crushing excitement. That seems the most plausible in this situation. But all in all, though, she is down in the set. She is only down 1, so it's very doable for her to do so. But again, it is one hell of a Herculean task to even do so against one of the best names in the community.
Jack with this 2-1 lead. Great 5P to press out of that corner. Doesn't get called by that mix. In fact, gets our punish after we block it out. Nice catch on the roll. CPU definitely been looking for it. Jack has been pretty patient about that, but CPU getting that throw right here for trouble. The PRC getting thrown back by Jack, actually.
Not only that, this time though, CPU holding onto the meter, trying to go for the FDOS to try and catch the roll. But Jack is being pretty conscious about it and is mixing up that timing so well. It's catching CPU off guard.
Nice stuff here. Able to jump over that bar slash. Oh my god, Jack feeling like a hero, spends that burst. The J2K though from CPU, sending it right back to you. Great stuff. Jack spending that defensive mechanic, but does get a counter here on this round start.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of heart you gotta have, right? You don't want to have Jack just taking control of the situation, especially when he has very little resources to the name. You've got to take full initiative. You don't want to be reckless with it, but there's not really much choice you have but to just take the fight to the champion. Jack is holding down back. He is being put against the ringer at the moment, so CPU is able to get a comfortable position and use the 100-ton to her name.
Trying to keep you back with some of these FDs here. Nice 5H counter hit. CPU running down Jack here, getting comfortable catching his backdash timings. Catching it again here with the delay 5P. CPU sends you through.
And now she has win con. All she has to do is just be able to get that afro off. Able to get the full pickup, forcing the burst out from CPU. Going for that JD, baiting the burst out. You get a receipt for your troubles, mister. Jack gonna go game 5 into CPU.
Oh, dude, what is in the water, bro? Holy shit.
Tonight is an interesting night, Jeek. We got one upset. We might be looking at a possible second.
We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, guys, lock in. We're having fun out here watching. Hopefully they're having fun playing. Big shouts to everybody in the Twitch chat right now. Guys, !Matcherino, claim some of those free codes if you've been having fun. Tonight is the night of the people's champs out here. CPU trying to catch you with that 2H. Get some mini Faust in your back pocket, but Jack catching with that gunshot still. Running you down, gets a throw for our trouble, and got the Faust in the corner.
Yeah, he definitely isn't happy whatsoever. You're seeing a lot more ferocity from his approach. There's no patience on the side of Jack, but CPU definitely, this is the dangerous part about giving someone an adrenaline boost, and especially the confidence to go toe-to-toe with some of the best. Mini Faust has been procted, burst has been played now. Jack has positional advantage. We tried to use the Scarecrow, but we didn't get the opportunity to do so. CPU is going to fall for this round, but CPU still has burst going into round number 2. This is still doable for her, but she's got to really fight it and really fight tooth and nail to get this next one.
Oh, the far side's getting whip punished here by Gun. Burst going to keep you back. Catching your back dash with thrust. CPU just trying to do what we can to keep this HC here in the corner. Don't want to give Jack any chance to get you with some of that cha-cha slide neutral, that 5K, 6K madness. So got the afro applied, got it lit up. Jack still in this corner here, getting opened up by just close slash. CPU going to cash out with this bone-crushing excitement.
CPU might actually just be able to get the kill here. If this is scaled as well as I think it does, this actually just kills. Not just enough, just about one sliver of life left over. CPU just needs to get the one hit. Shimmy's outside of that range, and now we're going to final game, final round.
Here we go. Curse applied. CPU with some air stall. Jack going to be able to pull up with an early roll here, catching CPU off guard. Nice backdash to that 5K. Jack blocking out these thrusts, but CPU weaves in an overhead.
This is looking exciting, especially with the mini Faust now been proctored right here. We just need to get some way to activate it or some way to get back into the space. CPU now getting put against the wall. Jack has to find some way to just keep CPU out of this, because right now she's taking full initiative. Not going to be enough. No, just barely able to get the wall break. 50 meters just been afforded. Holding steadfast, uses that YRC to fight on now. She uses blue wild assault to catch on through.
Oh, okay. Good stagger here. The trumpet going to back us up at the low, catching out. Oh, Jack getting just clipped by the parade. CPU getting caught on her backdash. And that's going to be Jack finishing it off in a very close set. 3-2.
Be sure to show your support, show your love as we get down to business. Loser's side top 8. Here we go.
Here we go, guys. Couldn't have said it better myself. Kappa, Kreator with a fire start. Yo, Kreator said, yo, that intro was fire, Kappa. Hold on, watch this combo. I'm feeling emboldened. Hazen trying to slow it down right after that round start.
Nice back-to-back, going band for band with the BRCs, catching off the reset. Travell once again, using more of the meter to just cash it all in. Hazen now I'm going to fight it on now, able to get out of the corner, but the Ventania attempt immediately answering back from Hazen's attempts to get out of that corner. We're back to square one, Jeek.
Nice dash there, Kreator. Saying back to square one, back to roots here. Take it to the layer one. It's going to be that dash 5K. Despite that, Hazen crossing up here on that round start. Kreator confidently spending that burst to get the dog kick back forward. Hazen going to take advantage of that whiff, though. Nice job getting all that focus back, all of this ammo as well. Kreator still has a decent amount of HP to play with here, so not a terrible spot.
Yeah, I mean, with a little bit of burst on the table, that does help things, especially, but Kreator is not looking too hot going into round number 2, especially off the wall slump. This is always a scary position to be in. Going for a double dip off the wall slump, that is going to be that round done and over with. Going even a piece, but Kreator still working with an immense resource lead as Hazen only has 50 per burst.
Trying to approach forward here. Nice job getting that counter hit. Kreator going to get pushed back a bit by Hazen's FD block. And I like how Hazen using the FD block and our dash blocking to just always close that distance when we can. Kreator, despite that, going to be able to cash out this overdrive. Hazen sitting at full burst. Enough tension to try to get something here on this wake up, but Kreator is so oppressive, keeping it down. Nice BRC to drift forward, saw that active 5K, threw it back.
Say that again.
Saw that. I did get a lot of words out there. I tried.
Yeah, no. I might have to hit a pause on that one. The Kreator was a little taken aback by that one. Didn't exactly get the punish he was hoping for, but still, Kreator just narrowly able to bob and weave outside of these buttons and outside of these gunshots. Still a lot of meter on the table. Able to try and get the strike to position, but defense for Hazen has been so solid. But good work from Kreator to able to just clinch it out at the very end, taking game 1, taking first blood.
This Giovanna, definitely not surprised to see what Kreator's got cooking. Kreator, many time top 8er here at the Jeekly, also previously entered that Jeek League, playing on one of those teams, making it pretty far there on that Giovanna. So definitely not surprised. One of Florida's best, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. Hazen, of course, on this HC. Not surprised to see them get this far in the bracket. Kreator putting up a little bit of a roadblock, but it's just the first game, guys. We'll see what we got in the rest of this set.
Go for that Travell again. I mean, this definitely see that quite a lot in another well-regarded Geo player in the community by Wild FGC. But Kreator getting very liberal with their approaches, and with Hazen not checking them, I don't blame them. And that Sol Nascente counter hit, my God. And we tried to go for the Tempestade, but we didn't quite get it. BRC overhead, able to just narrowly avoid the 5K, but there it is, the gun flip, straight to the jawline. We're going straight through the wall.
Nice stuff here, man. Kreator will have some resources to play with on that other side. HP basically even here. Of course, Hazen's got that momentum. Not too big of a follow-up after that first hit. Gives Kreator a chance to fight back here. I'm looking at that 100 tension, but Hazen going to try to not let you spend it here. We did have that Wild Assault scaling, so not going to be enough to kill, but damn, it's close.
Yeah, but we have a 100-meter on deck. Hazen's got to be very, very scared here, and rightfully so, takes a trip all the way back down to the far side of the screen, forcing Kreator to have to take the agency to approach forward. Hazen able to get the whiff punish, but Kreator uses the burst to put some distance. Gets the counter hit off the Travell. Max range, full counter hit, and we get the wall break, doing a healthy 40%.
Nice job with that anti-air as well. Kreator keeping this HC back. It's going to be that same side. Kreator having a lot of tension here. Gets picked up on that cross-up after. The mix from Hazen has been wild. The YRC gets baited out as Hazen turns this punish into a wall break.
That combo was an entirely 6S gunshot. That was all it was. And that's all Hazen needed. Staying outside of that potent range. Gonna get the full extension, but forces the burst out from Hazen. Holding on to that clean hit. That mental stack really is a factor. Going for the hero burst, but the 33%. We really love to gamble at the casino as Hazen. 1-1 apiece.
Kreator still being aggressive there with that dash approach. Catching you, I mean, there's a lot of options after that dash. You got your 5K, your 5H, you got your far slash for trying to whiff punish. Can try to get in with some of those lows, rather. So Kreator having all kinds of options on that step dash. Of course, just trying to dash block in to try to move in on this HC where Hazen's got that gun on you, got that curse applied at times. And that's enough of a threat to get Kreator blocking even on that full screen. So Hazen definitely taking advantage of that pressure. Kreator doing a good job of getting in when we can.
Hazen is making good work on these decision makings, and not only that, but forcing a lot of panic on the side of the Kreator. These momentary lapses in judgment have really become troublesome for Kreator as we go through that wall. So much dread on the screen, and at this moment in time, you just gotta hold steady. YRC to get some distance out, a BRC to put even more distance away. That J2K, the ever elusive Goomba Stomp, is going to do the business. We just go for the reset.
Yeah, oh my gosh, Hazen feeling good about that one, but Kreator having a chance to fight back, seizes the moment. I like these dashes around, just trying to put ourselves in that perfect space around Hazen. And you saw right there with that shimmy here, being able to punish out Hazen's whiff throw, but finishing that round out regardless. Hazen able to take out that burst and the round.
Very solid shimmy work, but unfortunately that footwork wasn't enough. All it takes is just one single love tap from Hazen and basically went down for the round. Hazen is now having to hold down back for dear life, but is able to find that opener. And now that Goomba Stomp able to give him what he needs and then some. Deus Ex Machina, cash it all in, let bullets fly.
Nice stuff here. Hazen cashing out while Kreator does have these resources on the wake up. Spends the burst early there to nullify out that curse Hazen went for, but does get our next follow-up. Red RC to line it up as well. Kreator on this last hit. Kappa, we just got to get through the clone.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, not able to cancel in time. Maybe try to go for the RC or maybe a special cancel, but Hazen was much quicker to the trigger, quite literally, and is able to take that game 3. And look at that in the replay. This was very smart play from him. Very good work, and still had burst on the field just in case. That backdash single-handedly put him in a good position to just narrowly avoid defeat.
Hazen here trying to move further through this bracket. Kreator getting that first game. Hazen with nice momentum back, but I gotta say, we've been having a set on our hands, man. Hazen doing a good job right now, of course, of taking advantage of that curse, but Kreator was ready with a burst.
Simply does it. Tries to get the extension again. That's the second time in the set the Kreator has fallen short of that confirm. That really is going to start mounting up, and these are warning signs that Kreator's going to have to start keeping track of. And Hazen, he's loving life right now. That neutral wall break just afforded him a hard knockdown of his own.
Hazen threatening to finish out this round here, but I mean, the HP is still even, basically. Kreator getting a couple of hits. That was all we needed, man. Yep. Just like that. Yeah, I had to show more respect how close that HP was. Kreator willing to put Hazen there in the corner, and just a couple of interactions was all we needed to finish off that round.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a sweat wiped off the brow. A little bit of a little bit of sigh of relief, if you will, because that was a very huge mistake that could have led to the Kreator's downfall in that moment. But Hazen is working towards getting that set point and is able to get quite a hell of a counter hit off the meaty. Just gonna let that Deuce 6 money fly, let bullets rain all over the sky. It's hailing all over the case, shell casings everywhere, and Kreator has to deal with the aftermath post wall break.
The burst keeps you back here though. Kreator trying to dash in with that 2K after. Hazen active with this 2P, but a little too active. Kreator pulling up at you with that PRC dog dart. And this 8C trying to get out of the corner with the backdash, but Kreator was actually able to crouch right under it.
Really believing in this round. Kreator just wants to get anything and everything in his favor, but again, the J2K, it's a monstrous button, and it leads Hazen into set point here in loser side, and this is tournament life for Kreator.
Kreator trying to approach forward. I like the 5P, probably trying to look for like a 5P special cancel to get past that clone, but Hazen already sniffing it out, able to take advantage of that and put you through the wall here. Threatening possibly set point as we get this next open up. Kreator spends the burst to fight back and gets a close slash as well.
And just narrowly avoids the straight bullet as well off of that dash up. Gonna get that JK right on the head of Hazen. Gonna go for that meaty Troval, but Hazen, despite the plus frame, still mashes it on out. Gonna get that round back. Kreator, not too disgruntled at all, takes it to a game 5.
Man, I don't know if we caught it in the replay. I'll admit I even missed it at first until Kappa pointed it out. But yeah, unfortunately, it was right before this. Kreator dashing through the gunshot, was it, to even make this happen? So very aggressive play in the final hour to finish it off.
Yeah, and I see why he mashed it out. Definitely still a tricky position to be in. Hazen still mashing it out despite the shimmy. A lot of bravery on the side of Hazen, but now we're in game 5. Now it's just a matter of closing it out. You've both shown your hand. Now it's time to close. First is now off the field. Kreator has a lot of options, just backdashing away from that reticle, but gets caught all the same. Now both players cashing it all in on that lifeline.
Catching your backdash here. I like these 5Ks. Hazen gonna get all of our ammo back here after that Deus Ex. Kreator not in a terrible spot here, right? I'm looking at that tension. I'm looking at all of this burst meter as well. Gonna use that YRC to slow it down first, and catches your backdash was ready. Hazen with that positive bonus is sitting pretty as well.
Gonna go with that empty jump. Kreator fully in Hazen's head. Just a sliver of life, the magic pixel. Hazen just has to get that one good opportunity, and when Kreator's burst is still a far cry away, just comes online, uses that YRC he has been crunching on all set long, and now Kreator is on set point.
Kreator here using that 2D here. Be aggressive on the round start. Hazen bursting you back. Feeling that pressure here. Kreator on that set point, spending our burst as well. Just very patient with those step dashes forward and back, trying to get a whiff punish, possibly with 2S or far slash. Hazen is going to be the one getting those hits. It's a nice cross up on the roll, opening up Kreator here, but getting the curse applied.
Yeah, Kreator does get the ability to dash on in. Hazen wanted to go for the reset, and this is still Kreator's winning round. So even with the Deus Ex Monkey, we're going to get refunded a whole lot of bursts. And not only that, we get refunded to 100 meter as well. Kreator's got a lot of options, and Hazen's going to have to start isolating all of them.
The YRC connects after that 2S, the dog dart to chase you down. Kreator with this counter hit, close slash. This is some great routing to cash out. A lot of damage goes for the reset. Oh my God, spends the burst to stay alive.
That was insane play from Hazen. The belief to just get to the opposite side despite it. Kreator really got his hands full at the end there. Believed in the round, but Hazen just was much faster, much quicker, and much more clinical at the end there. Now Kreator's gonna have to start thinking about the decision to use that burst, because right now it's starting to bite them.
Here we go, dashing around, trying to go for that far slash follow-up after that curse is applied. Not too big of a hit after that 5E connection, but the counter hit is going to let Hazen cash out here. That Deus Ex damage is going to add up. Kreator going to get low here. Not going to be enough to kill, but Hazen with such an advantage state.
Kreator just needs one deflect shield to just chip out, and Hazen just laming it out. Using that deflect shield, just barely inching in. We're running out of opportunities and we're running out of time, and Hazen puts the final nail in the coffin. Going to be advancing into losers quarterfinals. Kreator bowing out at 7th.
Play with all of the best of North America, not just in the US, but from all of our neighboring regions, man. And even here in the US, bro, it can get pretty far. You know, sometimes people playing from Washington down to Florida, or from Canada to Mexico, so we make it work. But let's talk about the players we got on the screen. We got Happyrio versus QueenKoa. This Sin versus this ABBA, and QueenKoa with an amazing start here, already in that JR. Going to do some quick routing here to try to manage that resource even better here, so we are getting hard knockdown. Look at that positive bonus cranking up as well. Donzai's second hit will be enough to get a slash here. Very quick first round here for QueenKoa. Able to keep up that burst as well. Didn't even need to play around with that mechanic. Happyrio building up hours, looking for a chance to press. Nice job finding that gap. Rio gonna use that DP. Start getting some hits here. QueenKoa feeling that pressure, immediately goes for that burst. Doesn't want to give away any of that HP here for Rio. Spending that stamina to keep the pressure up here in the corner.
Alrighty, then I'm back on the mic. I seen that QueenKoa is bleeding on the stand, and mind you, I'm looking at the reports for Happyrio. And Happyrio is coming off of a Paragon win not too long ago, just a couple of days ago. That set going into Tonki, I believe. QueenKoa is really holding down, and we're just barely able to just get that burnout, and Happyrio patiently just takes his reward and gets that round off, evening things out.
Even up those rounds, man. You're coming here just in time, Kappas. Koa trying to get something started here. Rio using very conservative with that stamina, I gotta say. Just trying to use one bit to try to see if we can't fish for a hit here on Queen, but she's just too patient here in the corner. Happyrio gonna throw you right back.
Yeah, Koa just is pretty disciplined when it comes to her ability to just fight on out of the corner. She does not need to take any risks if she doesn't feel the need to, but Happyrio, you mentioned, is very conservative with it, and it has been really helpful in just making sure that he can get these good approaches. But Koa finally has that one opener, fills up on the jealousy. Now hell is to be paid. Try to BRC forward, try to get that L cunt off, but QueenKoa expertly gets out of there and gets that jump in from back in the retreat. We restock on that jealousy, half that bar is there, and we have all the opportunities to get things started as we just let the tendrils fly.
Queen trying to approach there with that 5H, man. Nice air throw to finish it off, dude. Those quick air movements here from those JR Abbas. It's surprising, man. I don't know. Like, of course she gets quicker when she gets in that JR, but I don't know what it is about her being in the air also, getting those quick air throws, following you around. It's like, damn, she's that fast? It surprises me every time.
Yeah, fastest character in the game, man. This is why Jealousy Rage is no joke. You do not want her in that state at any given point. But Koa is so good at this character. She's able to work this character even without jealousy. And that's the thing that makes or breaks most ABBA players. How do you play when jealousy isn't a factor? And Koa has shown time and time again, she's more than just the jealousy rage. But God forbid you let her pop that thing, and she's gonna really show you hell on earth.
A little patience there, though. We put hell on the back burner there for a second, and Rio took advantage of saying that, though. QueenKoa clapping right back, sending you through with the second of that 2H. Oh, that was... That routing was kind of sick. Oh my god, QueenKoa building up the JR even further to get a full cash out on the meter here. That route was insane.
Yep, it's just another day in the office, man. I love seeing that kind of stuff. There's another player that loves to do that. I know a Dutch ABBA player by the name of Paida who loves doing that stuff. So I was prepared to see that all day, every day. And Koa loves that resource to death. But Happyrio, speaking of resources, he's coming up on stamina very quickly, holding on to that burst as well. Even on the losing rounds, he was able to turn things around last time. We'll see how well he does this time around.
Using that stamina very conservatively. I mean, we're only using it for that frame trap for the most part, right? Rio just does not overcommit with that mechanic for the better. That being said, QueenKoa pretty low here on that JR. Oh my god, what a quick little 2K2D confirm to send you through with that overdrive.
Yeah, not trying to commit on any of that stamina. It is a potent resource when applied, but it is a very, very daunting resource to wait for when you have none to really fall back to. But speaking of resources, we have a lot to play with. Happyrio has 100 meter and burst. Do cash in on at least half of that resource we have. And unfortunately for Rio, I don't know what button he was pressing, but it wasn't the right one. QueenKoa is going to take it yet another game.
Koa doing some, well, both players doing some awesome stuff in this set. But Queen, I feel like, man, even when she's down on her last life, that low bit of HP, she's not even looking at it. The only thing that she's paying attention to is that JR meter. That's the only bar she's looking at.
She ain't give a damn about nothing else but Paracelsus, and making sure that Paracelsus is stocked up and ready to go. You gotta be ready. Good parry from Abba and good parry from QueenKoa as well to just restock on a lot of that jealousy, forcing that burst out. We're just gonna pop it. Who gives a damn? We're just here to play and win.
Nice cancel here. Rio sitting good with that burst as well. Queen does have this JR. We already are in our state here, our install. Going for that throw, however, Rio going to take advantage of it, gets a counter hit, and closes out this round.
Definitely a change of pace here. Happyrio this time taking full initiative and actually is the one to take the rounds rather than being the one falling behind. But speaking of high lows, QueenKoa loves that intertwine and tilt. Aptly named, man. It loves to tilt. 6P clashing with the 5H, but QueenKoa coming out favorably in that position. Hard knockdown is coming in real smoothly at the moment.
Nice job getting that hop kick after. It's going to be that red RC to confirm it. Rio holding on to that burst here. Doesn't feel like a hero. But with that being said, QueenKoa is going to put herself on set point with a perfect. Rio showing some signs of life here in this game 3. Well, throughout the whole set, I got to say, you know, it's one of those cases where it's 2-0 but close. I mean, I'm talking like it's over. Rio bursting it back here. We're still fighting it out, and we're trying to get something started here against this Abba. Does get the hit.
Stagger stepping forward, just dash blocking and trying to find an opener. Staying same side, but still, finally, when you knock on the door long enough, you eventually see someone open up, and Happyrio is starting to bleed a little bit. Still plenty of meter to play with. Doesn't have enough yet to really incentivize Koa to take initiative. But we are going to get this wall break at the very least. No, not enough!
Oh, the clash cancel. QueenKoa comes out on top.
Once again, these high lows are as dangerous as they come, and even better, Koa able to get the victory, blocking out the burst and preventing Rio from advancing further into the bracket. Happyrio, despite you being champion on Wednesday, tonight is a different night. You bowed down, son, at 7th place.
Shout out to 7 for that direct contribution, homie. Appreciate you. All right, guys, moving on. On the losers quarters finals of the Jeekly 89, you got Hazen versus CPU. CPU, unfortunately, down here on the loser side, but with an awesome, very close set up there on that winner side. I won't spoil what happened. Y'all got to check it out on the bot, exclamation point YouTube. But right now, we're talking about what we got on the screen right now. CPU trying to wake up here against Hazen, but catching you with that tick throw pressure finally gets you right on the strike. Gets a counter hit for it.
A lot of damage on the table, really chunking out a lot of the reserves. BRC overhead gonna land right on the noggin of the good doctor herself. Hazen taking that first round, taking first blood as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, y'all probably saw that too. Got a little chunky there for a second. We're gonna see if we can't play it out here. Looks like our players are trying to keep it going here. Hazen gonna be able to send you through. CPU has that 2H, man. That Faust 2H can do a great job of keeping your opponent down if they're trying to take that forward space without holding that down low. CPU getting a command grab to keep you in the corner.
Yeah, able to get the instant overhead off the JD, forcing the Afro pop, and now Hazen gonna have to contest with the Scarecrow PRC, and even better, we might just have to deal with even more mix. CPU coming out in full force and forcing Hazen into unfavorable position after unfavorable situation. She really is on top form tonight.
Oh man, that counter hit with the J2K. CPU trying to go for that dash far slash. Hazen getting a couple shots here. The burst to push you back. Nice connection with that thrust. Hazen just trying to get that full screen away, but CPU says even that's not enough.
Able to go snipe him out of the sky. Afro does pop, and now we try to go for the overhead, the Afro explosion, and the bait on the YRC. CPU gonna fall for the first game, but man, what a really nice back and forth we're seeing into losers quarterfinals.
Nice stuff here. Hazen going to be closing out that first one, but I mean, Kappa's right. It's that back and forth that we're watching out for. Gotta say, man, these bombs and players' ability to bombo their enemy Faust with bombs tonight has been pretty crazy. Like, it feels like everyone is ready to convert off those bombs when they need to. Hazen doing so right there to go for a keep that corner pressure up against CPU. Now we're going to game 2 here. We're gonna see what this Faust can do. Aggressive with that 5K to start.
CPU's biggest strength that she's been able to utilize all tournament long thus far has just been to be able to find these moments to really poke out, really punish just these basic approaches. But into Hazen, it's becoming very increasingly difficult, as Hazen is just as similar in gameplay loop as CPU is. And we're watching as we're just going to cash it all in. Deus Ex Machina is going to do the business, give us that positive bonus to refund us for our efforts.
Nice early roll here from Hazen. The YRC from CPU keeps you back, but the backdash spaces you from that 2H. That's that YRC change actually kind of hurting Faust indirectly if you consider it about that 2H. Now the bomb's coming out. I still like how CPU was aggressive with that ping pong, knowing which bomb explodes when. Hazen trying to catch you with that 2D. Doesn't get to open up quite yet. CPU gets opened up by that 5D though. And it's going to be Hazen on this HC closing out this round.
Very solid work from Hazen, and it's looking really daunting for CPU. The pressure is mounting even higher. Tried to get the 5K confirmed into the Dash Kara mix, but just wasn't able to get it. Now Hazen able to freely run game, crossing over to the other side with the IAD taco kick, able to backdash away, and now CPU gets to run game.
Nice counter hit. Oh God! Oh my God! What
counter
was
hit
that
upon
madness?
counter
Oh my gosh,
hit.
almost killed as well. Hazen probably doing a double take after that one. Still fighting back with that BRC drift forward.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Hazen, there is such a thing as a block input, man. You are getting caught left, right, and center. Trying to bait out the burst, trying to force the burst to be as inconvenient as possible for CPU. CPU is holding steadfast, but is able to get that 5P mash. Hazen now going to go down in the round. Now we're even here. JS gonna fly from so high up, nothing to represent, but we go for the empty jump low off of the gunshots.
Nice stuff here. Trying to fish for that 2S. CPU not giving it to you with that far slash though. The bomb gonna back up. HC Hazen trying to pull forward, but actually gets clipped.
Almost got the confirm as well off the bomb. Nearly got the bombo there and going for the cross up. The minions actually saving CPU, and Hazen not being aware of the anvil coming down. YRC to put some distance, using that thrust to just keep a little measuring stick to keep Hazen out. But now you got to deal with all this mix.
One hit to take it for either player, especially Hazen with that 50-meter. CPU, literally one hit will do it now. Trying to clip you with that JK, air stalling a bit. The JD going the wrong direction, but catching your back, Blue Wild Assault rather, with throw. Awesome stuff there from CPU.
Man, that level of recognition is got to be commended, man. CPU has been alert all night long, and even at the end there, when so much pressure is on the line, CPU still finds a way to keep herself in the driver's seat and is able to even things out into a stiff competitor. Even going into Hazen, she still in control. She's still composed, and she's still able to close the game out.
Nice counter hits on the round start hit. Both players sharing a brain cell, trying to get something started here. Hazen seeing that FD being held, pulls out the throw. CPU getting stuck here in this corner. Going to use that focus to keep the pressure up. Out of ammo, but so CPU actually taking advantage of that with the pull up on the far slash.
Yeah, I do like the aggression here. She sees no bullets, she sees no opportunity, but the presence to just do what needs to be done. Great catch on the backdash. We have the meteors, instant JD, and now we're gonna take your ass to the ICU for that femur breaker. It's time to go into round number 2.
Slash out here for CPU. Hazen trying to be aggressive with that 2D round start. CPU, I mean, I gotta say, we're paying attention to Hazen here on these anti-airs. That first one getting dead zone, but that second one does get connection for our trouble here. Hazen trying to ping pong with that bomb. CPU with some heads up blocking on it still. Hazen taking advantage of this gun and the curse. Nice roll to open you up.
Yeah, that was off the dash Kara too, so we got a lot more distance than CPU was expecting. Hazen really good on that technical side of things, just keeping the pressure ongoing, but CPU has been checking some major important mix-up opportunities. Try to go for the overhead off of the mix JK. Nothing to really show for it, but in particular, can we just commend Hazen for his absolute desire to just stay in control? Even on defense, he's not pressured in the slightest with all these mix-ups coming from CPU.
No, Hazen for sure has been playing on top of it right there, trying to keep you back with that burst, but CPU feeling out that throw, was ready with the JD after jumping back. The FDs are trying to get some distance for Hazen, trying to keep this Faust off of you, but CPU doing a good job of smothering with the far slashes regardless. RedRC trying to see if we can't bait out a burst potentially from CPU. Hazen taking advantage of this corner pressure.
Yeah, but I do have to question whether or not that was the smartest play there. You could have probably gotten the guaranteed wall break, but Hazen giving up that knockdown, let alone a wall break entirely, gives CPU so much momentum to just be able to turn things around. And this is why Burst Baiter's Paradise is not as much of a Golden Gate Bridge as you think it is. It is a hellscape, and if you're not willing to tread and deal with the consequences of your actions, you're gonna fall flat on your face like this, where you crash and burn. CPU takes another game. Hazen gonna have to look back to the drawing board for that really critical error.
We'll see, man. Good stuff, CPU, with this game lead. And I mean, honestly, man, like, I kept talking about the CPU Asuka, you know, mentioned like maybe it'll come out at some point, but dude, this Faust has been freaking cooking. Not that I've been surprised, of course. People know CPU is one of the Faust connoisseurs, so very happy to see her play out here on this character. Love seeing her cook on, you know, one of the coolest looking characters in the game, especially when she's piloting. Hazen going to try to keep you down with these gunshots, doing a great job of dancing over that mini Faust. Spins the burst to push back CPU here. And that mini Faust is still active. Here he is.
And now we got the meteor strike coming from this missile. Nearly gets the confirm off the bomb strike. A lot of plus frames off that mix. We're just going to go for strike throw. Simply does it. Going to take a quick trip to the barber shop, and we're going to optimize here to get that round set point for CPU.
That 2S trying to check you here. These gunshots as well. Good burst back. Hazen trying to keep that gun pressure up. Oh my god, almost dodged that meteor entirely, which isn't the most uncommon thing, but pretty unfortunate when it happens to those Faust players. Good throw here after that roll. CPU going to be sent through here. Hazen in a great spot.
Resources for CPU. She just narrowly avoids that 50, nearly just edged outside of that. And speaking of throw conversions, Hazen gonna prevent CPU from even thinking about making a decision like that, or even just trying to provide her as little resources as possible, just narrowly outside of that burst range. CPU now has to play that neutral game and has to really contest on an even affair. Curse has been applied, and that is a great mash out from Hazen off that 2K.
Blocking out that meteor. Dude, CPU with the meteors, man. We gotta count them for the whole tournament. It's been a lot. Feels like it, at least. Good stuff. Gonna keep you back with that Afro pop, still jailing you here in the air. Hazen getting counter hit a bit. The Afro applied again, but 100-meter on the side of this HC. The 5D connects to get out of the corner.
And another tap dust to land on the head of CPU. That Afro doesn't do a damn thing but make him look stylish on the seams. At least he finishes off with flair and pizzazz. He comes out, ghost rides the whip, and he gets that fro on the summer night drive.
Awesome stuff, man. Yo, all these game 5s, we're gonna be here a minute, Cap. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it a grip with you, Jeek. I was prepared for this kind of scenario. This is the kind of environment I was bred and born in. So if you're here with me, dog, I got you.
Yeah, we're all here together, man. Appreciate you, Kappa, guys. This is our top 8 here, losers quarterfinals. Hazen spending that burst first. CPU with a great back throw to put this HC in the corner.
Faust, really great option to have right now, especially given that he's just making a quick turnaround. There's no escaping the little guy, and even best of all, the strike throw situation that comes afterwards. CPU just reaching victory, crosses up Hazen, who wasn't awake enough at the wheel, didn't guess correctly, and now CPU once again on set point. Hazen has to fight for tournament life.
Oh, the trade hit here. Coming out in Hazen's favor, so we get the pull up with this gun after trying to catch her, but CPU feeling out that throw. Pulls out her back dash, takes it down to the corner with this trumpet, and uses that parade pressure to get another item. Hazen will use the red RC to get out of the corner, though.
Nicely done, just dances around the explosion off the bomb, but Hazen getting caught by the snip, snip, snip. No clean hit, but purposely so. Trying to bait out the burst, but Hazen refuses to give it up. Backdashing away, just trying to play this little footsie game. 2H catches from the sidelines, but Hazen still doesn't give in that burst. But the far slash does seal the deal. CPU puts down Hazen for the third and final time. CPU advances to top 4 loser side.
Losers quarterfinals. Here we go. QueenKoa against RedDitto, guys. RedDitto coming down to the loser side of the bracket. I'm gonna the elephant in the room is that RedDitto, unfortunately, in a big upset to insert, is down here on the loser's side of the bracket. So if you're a RedDitto fan, you got to lock in and start rooting for them now, as they're going to find out against QueenKoa, and she can be feral, bro. So we're going to see what she has here on this ABBA.
Yeah, it's going to be a very major task, a very good metric to find out how far QueenKoa has come these last couple of years, especially given the fact that her performances have been really stellar, getting top 8 regularly in TNS. But RedDitto really coming into his own, full competitive spirit, really has been holding down Ramlethal for years now, and has been doing immense work on the character when so many people have long since abandoned the character. QueenKoa's got a major challenge on her table, but she is fighting it off with stride.
She's got some cool routes to show off for it as well. Daro, pressure reset here. RedDitto brings that H sword to keep you jailed here. Has that S sword in your back pocket still. Gonna use it to force the turn in. QueenKoa still has her burst, but I'm looking at that JR and none to her name. So, oh my god, RedDitto able to get another H sword, and QueenKoa has still not built up any JR.
Yeah, that's the kind of resource war you're fighting here. RedDitto has the ability to just lock you down permanently, and QueenKoa trying to go for that drag, but RedDitto was so quick to the trigger, even able to isolate the burst as well. Forcing out the burst, we still do not have any jealousy on the table, and much to the delight of RedDitto, she's taking the agency to have to approach forward.
I really like that 2S in theory there from QueenKoa, but this is Ramlethal you're talking about. So RedDitto able to use that JS from like actually full screen, it feels like, to avoid that anti-air, which is a very, very good anti-air from ABBA, but very vertical, right? So RedDitto with some very good hurt box weaving here to finish off that first game.
Yeah, RedDitto just showing a lot more dominance this time around as opposed to when he was in the winner side of things. Really, this is the kind of worst case scenario for a lot of the loser side, is having to deal with a player of this caliber across a multitude of sharks. This might be the Megalodon, but to have him down here is an insane feat, which honestly, it is a challenge and a half for QueenKoa to have to contest with.
Yeah, and I mean, one that she's completely capable of contesting. Of course, has this ABBA in her back pocket, showing a lot of respect here to RedDitto, trying to get this pull up and get this JR install. Finds her moment to play and takes it, right? Of course, you have to respect some of those far-reaching normals from Ramlethal when you're not in that JR, but when QueenKoa builds up that meter and has that chance to fight, she does so. With RedDitto having some great defense, though, waits out the bar, stays alive, and double wipers you down to close out the round. Awesome defense there from RedDitto.
Double Sabrobato, that is the kind of stuff you recognize from a man who is a specialist of his character, the best on his character. That's the kind of combo theory that wins you games and wins you tournaments and even gains you titles to your name. QueenKoa, though, fighting it on out. Having him in the corner is really good, especially with the amount of resources to her name. She's got so many options, but now RedDitto is starting to fight back, and he's starting to get the ball rolling once more.
Oh, getting that punish here. I like using that PRC after hop kick to close that distance out. You got to do something to try to build up that meter. Does spend attention in exchange for JR. Wise here from QueenKoa if she wants to try to fight back away and take out this RedDitto here. Using that S sword to jail you back. The tick throw comes out, 50 tension, and close enough to the corner to start thinking about that H sword as well. Oh my god, wow. Giving a lot of space here. RedDitto showing respect to QueenKoa, who spends the burst to try to stay alive here with a throw.
I think what RedDitto is trying to do most of all isn't exactly show respect, but to give QueenKoa an opportunity to take agency so she can make the mistake for him. But this might start biting him on the ass a little bit, because now RedDitto offered so many opportunities for QueenKoa to fight back, and she is able to steal the round away. That plan backfired, and now we got to start all over from scratch. This time, though, QueenKoa doesn't have any burst to play with.
Yeah, no bursts here, but oh my god, that H sword pickup from RedDitto looking pretty good here. Okay, luckily only a soft knockdown if you're a QueenKoa fan. Just blocking things out here a bit. Does have some JR to play with, blocking out the cat scratch, and an amazing step through that H sword.
Oh dear lord, that Mortabato, regardless of what you did, RedDitto is going to feel the pain in the morning. No wall break, which comes to the detriment of Koa here. And even worst of all, we're just wasting all that jealousy. That is going to be a forced burnout. Jesus, English is a hard language. And we do tech the throw here. Going for that JD, trying to get that knockdown of some kind, but maybe just waiting out that burst from Ditto.
You know, having not only the burst, but that 100 tension as well. Getting slam dunked here in the corner. So patient with the burst, but too patient, Kappa. We're going to take it to the... take what we can of it to the next game, aka 0.
Yeah, starting all over from scratch. We're back to square one. We're even Steven. RedDitto definitely having a difficult time here trying to keep Koa out of the game, but this is the kind of stuff you've got to be worried about when it comes to Koa. She is never out for good. She may be down, but she's never out. That's the kind of resilience that Koa possesses. And when she gets the ball rolling, it is entirely difficult to take away that level of confidence.
While this all routing here from RedDitto gets answered back by the burst from Queen. She gets her install as well. I'm looking at that tension on the side of Ditto, getting open here on this low, spending some of that tension for the FD, just trying to get the spacing to get a 6P out there. But QueenKoa with some patience actually gets a whiff punish.
A lot of damage on the table, so much jealousy as well. Getting that IB, RedDitto flipped right over her head and recognizing it had to spend the cash. Not gonna jump this time. That really did cost Ditto a little bit, because that didn't mitigate anything. That was so much advantage state. Koa just took full advantage and got the black beat to steal the round. RedDitto does have the burst, but this is a winning round for Koa, and that does major work for her to take the victory moving forward.
Oh, trying to get you with that JD. QueenKoa able to keep this pressure up despite that JR being low. It was that throw change recently for ABBA actually coming to her favor here. The burst gets spent. RedDitto feeling the pressure. Does get this Daro hit, but a lot of damage dealt there by QueenKoa. RedDitto needs to stay on top of it here.
Yeah, we just go for that hard knockdown. We see so many resources available for Koa. You do not want to take any risks here. Safe jump off the cat scratcher JP. Not able to fully confirm off that situation, but Koa does have the jealousy pop, and we are able to just get the trade, but Ditto comes out of it just fine. Able to snipe that key drag approach and restock on that jealousy.
Keeping it down with this air special, having to go for that force uninstall. RedDitto low HP here, but in a great spot. Keeps that 5D whiff safe with that PRC 2K here. QueenKoa with a great step dash. Gets in here, but just long enough for RedDitto to get that next hit, get that hard knockdown, but a lot of resource spent there with the Wild Assault and the Super.
And even best of all, right, that 50 meter could do major work for Koa if she could do something. She's able to get that YRC to get herself out of the corner. She's building a lot of resources to fight on out. She believed she was in a distance to be able to get the punish off, but RedDitto unfortunately was close enough to get the kill shot. Koa, though, very much reaching the precipice of that burst, and even best of all, keeping Ditto out of the game for the foreseeable future. Hard knockdown. We've got 80% jealousy, and we've got a winning round.
We'll see here. RedDitto, of course, does have that burst, but QueenKoa dealing that damage, getting that positive bonus. The burst does get weaved out here, and I do see that JR going down as Ditto trying to keep that pressure up here with this 2S. Koa did get her uninstall. Now I'm looking at her burst as well, so resource-wise, she's doing just fine as RedDitto is trying to get this pressure escalated with that air throw. Great stuff.
Holding down back, waiting for an opportunity to strike, uses that parry to full effect, and now she's using that, cashing in on that opportunity. Gonna go for the cross-up, and QueenKoa now on set point. Koa just really bringing all the stops out against the Arc World Tour champion.
Whew. All right. Holy moly, man. Something in the water. QueenKoa. Very strong player out here, guys. I've been watching her not only on this ABBA, but also on the Axel, also in other games, not just in online brackets, in offline brackets. And here she is trying to make a hell of a run for herself on this CHD tag, on this ABBA, getting this key grab and getting the overhead in the corner.
Really living up to the name of the Cokeheads, man. That's the kind of crazy chaos that you're looking for. And for Koa, she is bringing out every bit of violent tendency needed to be able to take this victory. RedDitto is bleeding immensely on the stand. Great work at getting the 6P, able to bait out the burst, and now we get that hard knockdown.
Looking at that JR good backdash here to get away from RedDitto, trying to check you with that 5P still, but Koa knocking you down here. Nice stuff. I'm looking at that tension. It's going to be the fast RC to close out the round. Blue Wild Assault to keep the pressure up. RedDitto getting that burst back, but not until QueenKoa puts herself on set point.
She just needs this round. There's a lot of confidence brewing for this young ABBA player. Gets that hard knockdown, baiting out the throw. What a hell of a shimmy on the young buck herself. She just needs to get one opportunity. She needs one chance. Ditto gonna play it safe here, but now Koa has taken full stride forward.
Nice
Hard
stuff. Kappa, it's getting so close, man.
Nice key drag, but RedDitto was very quick to the trigger, able to see that roll through, but still wall break with no hard knockdown. This is still very doable for QueenKoa to play with. Able to block out the overhead, and she starts to go for the 6P, but the BRC slowdown does catch her at the very pivotal end. QueenKoa on that set point still, but RedDitto has the possibility of taking this to a game 5.
Oh, the step dash through here. Koa doing great stuff with that step dash through RedDitto's very big but active normals. She's able to make that approach forward. PRC to try to bait out the burst. RedDitto not falling for it, but does go through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, for Ditto, that lifeline is all you have. QueenKoa is on the verge of victory. She just needs to keep herself steady. Gonna Kara straight into the tendrils. We call upon the door, and now we just gotta do everything we can to just keep Ditto back in the corner, but the corner swap, unfortunately, is going to permeate the issues that Koa has been dealing with all set long.
Ooh. Great S sword right there to be preemptive against that 2D from QueenKoa. PRC the drip back, active 5K gets thrown, and that's gonna be QueenKoa using that RC expenditure at the end to get an upset and move on this loser side of the bracket. 3-1. Jack and Insert, no strangers to playing it out here. In fact, in this far in the bracket before, winners finals and grand finals before. So, but we're gonna run it back here, starting from scratch, 0-0. Insert spending that burst. Jack opening you up here as we're starting off with this winners finals. Deus Ex sending you through.
No nonsense behavior from Paragon Zone. He's just trying to make quick work of anybody laid before him in his path. He had a tough time with CPU, but now you're going to have to see how quickly Insert is able to get himself started, as Jack is just absolutely blitzing through this round.
Oh, wow. S-Dolphin catching you from that far away, but great whiff punish on that 5H. Jack closing that one out. That 5H has a pretty quick recovery, so Jack was like, had to be looking for exactly that. Great stuff.
Very good initiative coming from Jack as well. Normally in a situation like that, you decide to take a little bit more of a passive approach, but Jack taking full initiative off that burst bait as well. He does not give a damn whatsoever what you think. It's a matter of just winning, and he's got the champion's mentality to just take it all straight to your face.
Throwing you back here in the corner. I like that wild assault routing there. Jack, of course, using that routing to keep your opponent from having that burst available. And it can come in clutch, man. Check it back on the replay here. Insert, even if we were a pixel away from getting that burst, Jack wasn't going to let you do it. Of course, we were pretty low there, right? But I've seen Jack steal some rounds where people thought they were going to be able to push him off. Nope, sent to the wall because of that wild assault routing.
And Jack, I don't know what happened after that winner's semifinals, but something awakened in him, and he's not taking no for an answer. He wants that crown, he wants that title, and he's not about to let anyone stand in his way at the moment, especially after what was a very hard-fought battle in winners semis. So Insert's going to have to start picking up the pace as soon as possible, because the opening whistle is the only thing keeping him away from just absolutely eviscerating everything in his path.
Not the first time tonight we've seen Deus Ex get bursted. Jack, despite that, just look for that distance, look to fish for that 5K. The roll, getting blocked at first, but I think we got caught in the stagger after. Jack spending that Deus Ex. Insert low HP here, but does have some resources to fight with if we can just get that stray hit. This May does the damage, man, but unfortunately that YRC was too far away, and Jack took advantage of you. Looking good here in this game too.
A little bit of a misstep for Insert there. Really didn't gauge the distance as well as he would have hoped, right? And Jack just making it a point to just do what he needs to do. Full run up throw. He has got nothing but confidence in droves as he just tries to isolate the burst, try to go for the burst safe routing. And Insert relying on his last ditch efforts to use that burst to try and get some momentum back.
Great recognition from these players, man. Nice air throw. Oh my god, Insert paying attention to how Jack wanted to approach there. Nice stuff. Uses that PRC to keep your whiff throw safe. And this stagger close slash pressure actually getting FD out by Jack, and that little bit of spacing will be enough for this routing. That's going to be close, I think. No, okay, actually, never mind. What am I saying, Cap? Excuse me. Who am I kidding?
Let's not kid ourselves here, man. This character is the king of Guts Crush, and even with 4 Guts, Japanese Guts ain't gonna save Insert any day of the week. Look at that. Just look at this instant replay. There was no chance of survival here, and even if they did, this is no Anji Mito.
Sheesh. Holy moly. Okay. Jack saying, yo, Jeek, this bracket taking a minute, homie. Let me speed it up for you with this winners finals. But Insert... Insert, come on. We got to see what this S-Dolphin can do. Strong stuff with that run forward. I like that 6B there on the other side. There we go. Insert coming alive here. Spending that wild assault, but Jack was ready with the burst.
A little bit of demanding request from you, Jeek. I'll keep it a band with you, dog. This is definitely not an easy request for Insert to fulfill, but he's still fighting it out. He's still found quite a lot of pep in his step to still come out swinging. Like earlier, it was one side of the fair, but now we're starting to see a lot more coming alive for Insert as the young buck is able to get that round. Finally, we're seeing some positivity from him.
Definitely. Hey, positivity coming out here. not just on the meters. Jack sending you through this Deus Ex. Great stuff here. This routing's been great, man. Insert, of course, clapping back with this round here in this game 3, but Jack with that lead, trying to move on to that grand final spot. I mean, Jack been doing this every week, it feels like. For him, it's routine. Insert, gonna be sent through here.
Had all that momentum, right? You got to question whether it was your second wind or your dying gas, but with Jack making quick work of the round, trying to bait the burst and make it inconvenient for Insert, but Insert holds out and keeps his head on a swivel. Next round, set point for Jack to secure winner side grand finals, but Insert going for the full run-up throw, staying same side off the JH, or J2H.
Oh, the roll coming through here. Insert spending that burst to push it back. Checking with that 2P. I like linking with that K normal after Jack catching you with a whip punish here. Insert.
Jack. My lord, man. I think we got to talk a lot about the whip punish game. Great burst bait and great punish as well to match it. But Jack has been absolutely harassing Insert with these K normals and has been really excellently whip punishing. Gonna go for the same side, J2K, and this is done. Finito, done and dusted. Insert's gonna be going down to the loser side of things, but he's still in the top 3. But Jack securing that winner side advantage, going into grand finals with a lot of confidence and a lot of time to just analyze who he's gonna be finding up next. The team kill is going to commence. Thank God it ain't a yokai team kill, because I have been there and present for a lot of these team kills. But this time around, cokeheads are going to have to watch one of each other shed blood all over the battlefield.
Here we go, man. Between CPU and QueenKoa. Shouts to Koa. She said doomed Yuri in the Twitch chat. So we'll see. Doomed Yuri indeed. Trying to go for that hammer. Trying to get that 4 to push you back. Koa, oh my God. Nice counter here on that hop kick. CPU getting thrown here for trouble.
Koa really bringing the fight to CPU, but CPU really utilizing those IBFDs to put some distance, but not enough to keep Koa off of her. A lot of aggression, tries to go for the backdash BRC, gets the punish in time. Now we're going to be able to set up for yet another situation as Jealousy just got burnt out. Simple stuff from CPU, keeping it steady, calling upon the minions, and we're just going to use the parry to bypass the entirety of the parade, as well as just keep our head on a swivel, utilizing that 2S to our advantage.
Getting our trumpet as well, that 2H to keep that ABBA down for the parade to come out just in time. And look at these thrusts, man. We're trying to get up and out of that corner, but QueenKoa doesn't get the privilege.
Very good stuff from CPU. That is ball knowledge. That is a player matchup thing. Recognizing habits is an important part of staying alive and just getting out of dodge as soon as possible. Koa is having a difficult time of just being able to install safely, but just as I speak, we do see the install happen. CPU needs to stay alive here. J2K gonna call it out, and we get the first blood shed here in loser semifinals.
Now Hopkick getting blocked out, trying to get our time back with that 5P. CPU bursting you back and using that trumpet as well. J2K getting our counter hit to get us out of the corner.
Utilizing the parade to just get some offense going, and now we force the uninstall as well. This is a good opportunity for CPU to just play the distance game as we just go full ham.
Afro lid here, CPU taking advantage of that. I gotta say, the afros have been plentiful over here on QueenKoa's side, and CPU has been showing you how impressive it can be. Just that, that cut sitting on your head, having that fresh fade. CPU trying to get some distance back here against this ABBA now that the install is out.
Hard knockdown, and we are just going to be able to uninstall safely. And best of all, right, utilizing that tension to just build up a little bit more of that tension, that jealousy altogether. CPU gonna go into the skies, try and mitigate some of that plus frame, and we do just that. Dawn's Eye gonna judge anything before its path, and we're gonna cancel straight into the door. The tendrils will do its thing. CPU now having to deal with a round against her.
Evened up here in this first game, man. I'm excited to see, bro. This set could go any way here, of course, for either player, but also for the other characters. But I mean, I was saying that earlier in the bracket, but at this point, man, QueenKoa and CPU have been cooking so much on the Abba and Faust respectively. I'd be happy to see them the whole way. Trying to go for that 2D here, but getting spaced out. CPU uses that wild assault to get on top of you. The FD pushes you back a bit. Stagger close slashes coming out from CPU to open you up, but QueenKoa finds the gap.
Yeah, I mean, when you have as much knowledge as you do against each other, you know, you have a lot of practice. You guys are each other's respective sparring partners. You can never take for granted every little opportunity presented. You can't just go with the shenanigans. You both know each other too well. You got to do what works and do what you must. CPU is on the back foot at the moment, but gonna get caught by the cross of the Scarecrow PRC. Not gonna work out. And even if you got burst, Koa is gonna lock you out, put you in a movie. Here's some tickets to the cinema.
Dude, talk about cinema. That ending screen looked so sick. Oh my god, dude. QueenKoa right there, killing with the super, looked so cool. Happy Chaos rolling through you and getting gunshot. Why does that look so awesome?
Yeah, when he hits the pose. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Here we go, guys. High Cortisol Uma. I'm reading CPU's in-game name now here in this drive.
Where my low cortisol Uma, bro? Where my low cortisol Uma at? Where my Uma Musume fans in the chat, man? Where my Uma Musume fans?
Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're playing Guilty Gear right now, and we're trying to make it through this top 4. Good thrust here from CPU. Reminder, guys, $77 in the bracket. I see those claim codes coming by the way, claiming those Metro codes. Thank you very much. Only top 3, however, gets that payout. Great super through that command grab. QueenKoa trying to get to that 3rd place to make it to that prize pool.
She tried to stagger with that 2K, maybe trying to get some form of stagger pressure going off. Maybe didn't recognize the confirm, but CPU was very quick to check it all the same. Staying outside of that range and just making sure that those parries aren't going to be pivotal to the game plan of QueenKoa. Mini Faust has been activated. We have the parade. She can get these parries off. Liberal Leagues. CPU just will not allow it.
Oh, scooting up twice on you. Dude, QueenKoa really good at putting this ABBA around the screen using that limited movement, but movement to the best of our ability. Nice stuff. Uses that red RC to close out this round. QueenKoa sitting on her burst as well. Definitely looking hot on this ABBA.
That was a great 6P whiff. That actually worked out so well. CPU just had nowhere to go. Forced into that recovery, and there was no way to go. There was no way of making that safe. Koa just has to deal with the solid defense of CPU, and now we got the forced burnout. Trying to parry against the hammer, but just mistimes it, gets punished instead.
The banana out here. CPU using these items to the best of her ability. Got that afro applied again, man. These afros are aplenty. The 5D is going to be the mix, comboing off the meteor. QueenKoa still here in the corner.
Getting caught by that JD, and we're going to go and take a trip over to the hospital. I hope you are ready because you're here for a femur breaker time. And now CPU evens things out once again. These two are just going head to head, and I'm loving every second of it.
Good block here on that hop kick. Nice stuff here. QueenKoa saying, hey, I want to keep you in this corner. Spending the burst after that counter hit comes out. CPU does get her cross up blocked here, but keeps that pressure up. Both players using this PRC to try to keep their momentum up, but I gotta say the defense on both sides has been crazy. That mini Faust coming out to back us up. I love the parry on the mini Faust. That was actually so sick from QueenKoa.
Koa has been so alert to a lot of the shenanigans that CPU has been trying to represent, and that just shows you just how alert at all times she is. Utilizing that parade to cover up the approach. Tries to go for the double overhead. Got a little bit mixed up at the end. Now we have no jealousy, and QueenKoa is going to have to survive the storm as the minions are coming in full storm. Another meteor shower, but she parries through!
Cool. The deflect shield buys you some time. The PRC keeps CPU's whiff safe here. Trying to give the perfect amount of distance here to QueenKoa. Trying to air dash out. Good blocks on the overhead. CPU trying to force something out here.
CPU recognizing that she is going to have to do what it takes to force Koa to have to take an approach forward, but Koa is more than content with playing it very lame. able to get the install off safely just in time, as we now have to utilize the burst, or it's do or die in this position. But Koa trying to bait out the burst. CPU very disciplined on her part as she goes for the scarecrow. Even things out 1-to-1. CPU, you psychopath.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, first off, QueenKoa threatening that comeback there in the first place was fire. CPU, however, taking you out there. I wonder if QueenKoa went for air throw. I wonder if QueenKoa thought maybe she could air throw there, or maybe she did like a preemptive air normal to try to like swag beat out CPU's scarecrow there. But we're evened up, guys. We're 1-1.
I mean, I don't blame her for trying, but is now the proper time? With your pressure on the line, right? Trying to make payout is always important. The low cortisol Uma is on the run.
She better be running. She better be sprinting, man. I'm keeping a buck.
Not enough! But still, the Donzai does seal the fate of CPU for round 1.
Keeping you back to that 2K. Oh my god, that 6P was like the latest it could have been. That almost felt like rollback. That was crazy. Maybe it was.
The most fuzzy 6P you've ever fuzzied.
Oh,
and we get the full extension.
Dude, fixed Faust. Holy crap, that could have been a bombo.
No, that's not even a fixed Faust moment. Unfortunately for CPU, that was just a spacing issue that she just wasn't ready for. And Koa, able to take full advantage, does just run straight into the danger zone. CPU still with her back to the wall, tries to backdash away to deal with the fuzzy, but unfortunately gonna go through the wall. CPU bleeding down to the last remnants of health, tries to go for the back throw, but Koa shimmies and gets the game. We're now down to the final inning. Koa on match point.
QueenKoa putting on a show for us, man, I gotta say. Showing us some awesome ABBA play on against many opponents tonight, dude. Showing us some potential ABBA dominance in the future, maybe. QueenKoa, of course, she's been tearing it up in these brackets as long as I've been seeing her, especially as of late, but right now trying to make our way up into this top 3. But you got to get through your own teammate here in CPU. She's not making it easy, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so, man. You cannot give even the smallest bit of reprieve to anybody. No, like, you may have love for one another, but right now there's no love lost in love and war. You just got to do what you got to do. And CPU is doing a pretty good job of getting the lead that she needs. Going off that mix. Not going to cancel QueenKoa, just jumping away. The mental stack has now been applied.
Oh man, that late 6P to the thrust. Of course, that time you had the D install to see it coming. This time, CPU has all that risk cranked up on the side of QueenKoa and is able to cash it out finally on this far/counter hit. So great stuff closing out that round.
Absolute fantastic performance. CPU definitely wants to stay in the tournament and wants to get qualified to make that payout. Just barely outside of that command grab range and delayed the thrust long enough to be able to get Koa onto that afro. Set up that win con. Now we got the mini Faust. We got the strike throw position, but Koa is holding steadfast. Sandwich between the bomb and herself. The parade is coming, and you've got to be ready because now you have to force the burst out. CPU gonna get caught by that late 5H from downtown. Going for the empty jump. We're just gonna secure that wall break as soon as possible, G.
We're trying to out here, man. Going for that 5K after. CPU was able to BRC back. Oh, tried to punish that wild assault charge up, but actually gets counter hit for our trouble. The PRC from Koa keeps that pressure up. CPU trying to jail you into this corner regardless, but these 6Ps on thrust have been amazing.
They've been on point, don't get it twisted, right? And now CPU is gonna have to deal with the oncoming tendrils. Trying to BRC away, but not enough distance, not enough time. CPU is gonna go down for the round, and now we're on set point. QueenKoa has to close this out. CPU has to close it out to get a game 5. Not enough time for the bomb to explode. We get caught by the intertwined tilt. We try to keep it burst safe just in case CPU had any bright ideas. Half of your health gone. What are you going to do here, CPU? Running out of time. You're running out of options.
Ooh, try to keep that same side with the BRC. Was very tricky. The door will catch this mix. And that will be QueenKoa getting her perfect here. And an amazing set from both of these players. QueenKoa is going to be the one moving on.
So it's a matter of the young bucks fighting it out to see who gets the privilege of fighting against Jack in winner's side for grand finals.
Yeah, Jack up there waiting to take his pick between these two. We'll see out here. Nice counter hit right there on that close slash. Insert spending that burst to keep you down and back. Nice pickup. Doesn't get that full pickup after, unfortunately. These S Dolphins, though, from Insert doing a great job of closing that distance and trying to dance around ABBA. QueenKoa, however, getting this key grab, trying to get that install, but Insert overdriving through.
Definitely one of the more abrasive options that Insert could have gone for, but it does work out. One of the few reversals in the game that actually just goes around Donzai's potency. But Koa going to be going for the PRC off the uninstall, using some really interesting tech to get herself out of the way and out of the corner and able to get that 2S anti-air to reinstall and get herself back to winning ways.
Oh my god, going for that 2D into door. Okay, yeah, the OTG, okay. Ooh, I saw that pixel, was like, oh no way, this game is going to be like that. This is crazy, man. I'm having fun watching this one so far.
Yeah, very explosive from start to finish, and now Insert gonna have to deal with a lot of jealousy as Koa staggers with that bar slash. Both these players clashing with their own respective buttons, but Koa has a lot of resources to the name. Grabs anyway, despite Insert's plus frames.
Oh, Insert finding a good time to go and pull out that killer whale. QueenKoa gonna keep her pressure up with that 2K, but wasn't able to do so here. The key grab connects. Nice stuff. That 2H multi-hit, man, can open us all up, and the early super means Insert won't have a chance to show us that burst. QueenKoa gets game one.
She wants this winners. She wants that grand final slot more than anything. She wants to be the one to put down Jack here in the winner's side. But it's going to be a long road ahead for both these players. So far, though, QueenKoa shedding first blood and is going to be the one to take this set with a lot of momentum on her side. Getting that first point is always integral to the mental.
Guys, let me see if I can speed run all these followers real quick. You guys ready? Eileen, Star FGG, Pawn Sniff Sullivan, Naptime FGC, Dad Gamer, Starry Pockets, John Dark, Drive Tower, Cliptos, Nacho Alvarez, Kitsune Twilight, Spaghetti Chainsaw Man. Thank you all, and Idolo for that sub. Guys, tonight's been awesome with all the support background on the Twitch, so thank you guys for all of that. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all coming through and showing that support also on the Twitch side. So, but we're watching the stream, guys. We're seeing QueenKoa already with this one game lead, approaching with this low as well. Insert going for this reversal super to get out of the corner.
Yeah, and I think if I could just take a moment to just thank the chat as well, as we did see that follower goal has been reached. You guys surpassed the 2200 follower goal. But now that we go on to bigger and better things for the young Jeek, we are going to be going down for the two combatants that are here, as QueenKoa is just absolutely walking and talking the talk, that necessary brutality to get that wall break all the same. Lots of jealousy on the table, able to get that counter hit as well as be able to lock the burst if necessary. Insert gonna let that round go by, keep that burst for the next round.
Honestly, I wouldn't have hated that burst in, out of the context, but considering that QueenKoa was baiting the hell out of it with that route, Insert making a very wise choice. Nice stuff. The 5-inch counter hit gets answered by QueenKoa's burst, but pulling back up with that 3K regardless. QueenKoa getting out of the corner.
Yeah, Insert has been trying so aggressively to get those split attempts, but Koa has just been anti-airing every single one of them. You gotta start looking at yourself and really asking yourself if you can get away with these more liberally. Tries to go for the Totsugeki, but Koa starts things off with Donzai, and we get a repeat of the last game. We're gonna finish things off how we did in the last one. Let the red X fly.
Woo! Zaba looking good right here, man. QueenKoa. Unfortunately, the Yuri team kill happens, right? QueenKoa having to take out her teammate. Something about that just turns you like visceral against your next opponent, right? Like, you have such a close set against CPU, you're not gonna let it get close against Insert. Now, that being said, Insert tonight taking out RedDitto in one of the craziest upsets that I've seen in the Jeekly, and honestly, Kappa, in months, this year for sure.
And both these respective players have pulled the upset as well, so let's not count any of them out here, man. Both of these two beating out, and the same result, mostly in the same result, I'm pretty sure. But Koa ultimately is the favorite to win this, because as it stands, she is the one completely in the driver's seat. And I would like to say this every single time. It's a favorite saying of mine: hell hath no fury like an ABBA in relatively full jealousy.
Getting that install to whip out the doors. Insert still ready with that jump back FD. The throw comes out. Bye-bye. Nice stuff here. Insert can't make a single mistake here, but I gotta say, right now we're making some great choices. Everything's working for Insert.
Just waiting outside of that throw range. QueenKoa using that PRC off the uninstall again to just mitigate that frame disadvantage. And Insert getting caught by that stray 5H. We're on set point for Koa. This is tournament life for Insert. He has 1 round left in the tank, and that is done. He is curtains.
I'm able to send you through here. Insert getting some damage. It's racking up. Uses that PRC to open you up here as well. QueenKoa getting her burst. Was that a double vertical dolphin? What was that route?
It was mainly for burst baiting, as well as just keeping it as burst safe as possible. Insert going in for the empty jump into overhead kiss. We get the Yamada whale. Now we're going down to the final round of game number 3, getting 7 golden letters attributed to the young boy himself.
Nice stuff out here, man. Insert showing up, showing out the play tonight, man. All of our players tonight, bro. Keeping you back here with these slash normals. QueenKoa does get this Wild Assault in. Rewards yourself with this key grab. Looking at Insert's burst here, but doesn't get to spend it yet as the doors come out.
Not enough to get the wall break, just a little too far out. Trying to go for the throw, but Insert is forced to use that burst. 3 can't get a catch, gonna get that full extension as well. Try and get as close to the corner as possible. Not exactly what he was hoping for, maybe trying to set up a beach ball of some kind. But in any case, though, he gets the wall break and he gets positive bonus. This is really good for Insert. He just has to keep on his advantage state.
YRC to push back QueenKoa here. I'm looking at her burst. Gets a counter hit on that 5H. This is going to get an install in a decent amount of meter here. I'm looking at that burst, but Insert with the reversal gets beat out by the Donzai. And QueenKoa canceling into this overdrive. That will be enough to be moving on here. 3-0 back up to grand finals.
Definitely going to check to see if the connection is stable between the two. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Grand finals. Jack versus Koa.
Koa out here been making a hell of a run on this ABBA, coming up from the loser side of the bracket, getting all the way to grand finals. Trying to backdash out here, has that jealous rage coming out here. Jack with that curse applied this moment ago was trying to get those gunshots, but QueenKoa unfortunately has this D install, couldn't make much of that JR, and Jack waiting out this baby ABBA here.
Try to use that key drag to close out the distance. Able to get that curse off safely. Jack retreats off into the background. Now Koa has to deal with the onslaught. Able to block the tap dust. Jack definitely has his hands full with the reaction times that Koa has been able to reciprocate on there. But now a lot of resources available to Jack to just really play with. Gets that opener and is going to get that hard knockdown.
Nice stuff here, Jack. Has that curse here. Now, these are the moments where it just looks abysmal for ABBA, right? Where it's like, man, it's baby ABBA. She's full screen. She doesn't have the JR. The curse is on her. Jack's got full ammo. He's got positive bonus. It's like, oh, my God. But QueenKoa still makes the most of it. Still tries to find her way in here. Jack doing some good stuff here with this round lead.
It is definitely a Sisyphean task for ABBA to have to do what they have to do in order to get in and just win consistently. And for Jack, this is just another walk in the park. This is another opponent that he just has to face, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to take the victory, getting both cross-up rolls and just mixing up Koa in every stage of the game, getting that J2K off and ready. That is going to be game one, done and dusted. Quick, easy, we move on to the next.
Awesome stuff here, man. Jack finishing off that first round, man. Definitely like what this HC does, man. Jack definitely
is going to be one hell of a climb up this mountain.
Jack getting this 1-game lead here. Room looking much better here. Trying to get our players something that, you know, trying to show respect back to the players, right? You guys are going to give me your time to play the matches. I want to make sure that your matches feel fun and competitive. So appreciate y'all's patience. Good stuff here. Jack going to be able to get out of this corner here, but I'm looking at that JR, man. QueenKoa being sent through with this force on install as well. Not going to be too great, but at least you got that 100 tension to back you up.
Yeah, but it is definitely one of the more difficult approaches too. This feels like a short distance away, but when it comes to Happy Chaos, no distance is ever short enough. Able to block the tap dust. Jack decides to go for the retreat and just control that distance as well, and he's just gonna cash it all in. Very costly expenditures, but he doesn't get the wall break.
Unfortunate, man. Man, of course, someone like QueenKoa is going to run away with a situation like that. Going to run you down with this ABBA, gets that install. Jack making one mistake, QueenKoa going to hang you for it.
Cannot let any moment slide. Koa is going to take more than just a mile if you allow her to. And even for someone as prolific as Jack, you are not immune to the level of resilience that Koa brings to the table. And she's going to be able to uninstall and reinstall for 60% of her gauge back. She is getting a return investment.
Nice stuff here. Splatting you through here, Jack. Trying to take advantage of this hit stun state. QueenKoa, of course, in this install, able to get as much blood as she came back with some of these doors, man. Jack does get opened up by that overhead. QueenKoa gets our first game here on the board.
Yeah, she really is just like that. And honestly, who else better than to bring out the intensity like Koa? And I'm excited, man. I got to see SoCal really show out for tonight, and I am excited, man. Koa bringing it level with Jack. Even coming in from the loser side, she is not afraid. She is not dissuaded whatsoever. She's going straight for the jugular. And as you should, Queen, get that bag.
Woo! That burst to put this HC back in that corner, but Jack fights back out. Does get a nice reload as well. It's bursting you back. This JR getting spent out. QueenKoa does try to preserve some, but that force on install isn't going to help you. A nice counter hit 2D here from Jack.
Jack really has implemented so much of the mix-up, and the mental stack off that 2K really is just one of the greatest mix-ups in the game. Just that 2K existing in tandem with the gunshots really makes it difficult to gauge where to go from, whether you guess the roll, guess the 6K, guess anything. It's just a mix-up in of its own right.
Jack building up that tension. It's like Jack, once you have that curse applied, of course he can just wait as long as he needs to against this ABBA, especially when she's in not in her JR form. But Jack waits for that 50 tension, then uses that opportunity to go in. Says, okay, well, if I need to open you up, I got that 50 RC for the red RC, or I can use this Deus Ex if I get the hit confirm. QueenKoa getting open up there with that roll, spends the burst back, but great pickup after that 2S confirm.
Nice fuzzy jump from Jack as well. Saw the JD and still managed to find a way out of there. Flips the script on its head and is going to get a full cylinder with a bullet on top of it. Hard knockdown for Jack, provided with positive bonus. This is looking fantastic for the champ.
PRC to keep that momentum up. I like that wild assault. wasn't the flashiest one, right? Because it doesn't give you the biggest combo after, but it kept you on top of Jack where he had to spend that burst to push back this JR Abba. Whoa, oh my god, okay, we're shaking hands out here. QueenKoa was putting this HE in the corner.
Yeah, Jack was a little bit too enthusiastic about trying to get strike throw off of that situation, especially with blue RC giving too much positive frames off of that. Jack now even with Koa, both players on the same level of resources. Koa just coming up on 50 burst. She's holding steadfast, but Jack is really divvying up on the roll attempts.
Oh, getting opened up here, unfortunately. Jack gonna Deus Ex you through. Queen here, still in a very winnable spot. Looking at that full burst. I'm looking at her meter there. Jack taking just some time to get back some of that focus and letting that positive bonus crank up. Does have time for that burst, but you can't get hit again. And with this full screen gun, it can pose a problem.
And even more so because we got the hit confirmed. We're going to get the uninstall. Now we're going to be able to reapply the reinstall here. Koa has a very good chance that she gets the counter hit. Going to be able to restock into 50% of that gauge. Jack does have burst, so you've got to be careful, but he has no bullets to the name. You have a little bit of an opportunity. He's going to spend that burst to get at least one bullet in the chamber, but now we got 50 meter. We're going to catch that backdash. And we're going to get the kill.
Oh my god. Jack did not expect the doors there. And I don't know if either of them expected the wall to be that close, but QueenKoa coming out on top.
Koa just at the last ditch effort able to get the screen positioning and just narrowly gets the wall break to get her that all important victory. That point could genuinely cement the necessity for Jack to have to kick into another gear because Koa is en route to be able to get that reset point.
Guys, you got to match this energy that we're feeling out here. Check out those claim codes for that Matcherino. Keep that pot cranking up. We still got some free claim codes left. As Jack gets this open up here after that RC. Koa gonna have to force uninstall after this combo is done, but Jack gonna send you to the wall first.
Yeah, but at the very least, Koa does have some resources to burn through. She is going to hold off on that. No need to use that PRC tech after the uninstall. Jack isn't going to let that happen for free, but the backdash overhead does give QueenKoa an opportunity to reinstall. Donzai to put some distance. Great IBFD from Jack. Tries to IED forward. The J2K trades, but so too does the Tendrils.
She was able to get that 2K. Jack representing that 6P. Stuck here in the corner. Tries to go. Oh, I feel like a hero. Jack gets you open up on that backdash BRC. Koa spends that burst. And in the gap, Jack gets an Abare 5K. Ooh, dude, Koa was running away with that one for a second.
Yeah, Jack a little bit nervous at the end there, but definitely got that all-important 5K. Definitely able to mitigate the deficit. Nice gap check from Koa as she gets the install for free and safely as well. Catches the IAD back with the 5H. J2K keeping it same side. We do got to be wary now because Jack has resources and is going to get the Deus Ex Machina. Hard knockdown is coming right on in for the champ, and he's got positive bonus rolling on through. This mix-up is important.
Nice stuff here. A lot of meter on the side of Jack. I'm trying to see QueenKoa force her way in. Oh, great stuff with that counter hit JD. Getting Jack to whiff on that tech throw attempt and being sent through on that super. QueenKoa all of a sudden in an amazing spot.
She tries to go for the cross up, goes for the second one. The second time's the charm. She isn't going to be able to get the confirm. That was a really big moment there. But now she's going to go for the full attempt there. Nice fuzzy from Jack as we bait out the YRC. She's on set point. She's en route for that reset point.
Okay, dude. QueenKoa got us puckered up here. She's dancing through that 5K. Jack being active on the round start, able to gun you down with that charge shot. Does get the open up and a lot of focus back as well as Queen is going to be sent through here. Does get her burst back, but Jack making this lead here. Doesn't want to try to play any more sets, right? Jack trying to keep this in a completely unscathed Jeekly if we can, but QueenKoa threatening that tournament reset.
He thought he was going to come into this with a clean slate here in the winner's side of Grand Finals, but he is finding himself getting a lot more battered and bruised than he was hoping for, getting a lot more for his troubles. Gonna go for the full run of throw. Gonna be able to get the uninstall safely. Try to backdash away just in case the gold burst was applicable. Going for that JD from far away. Koa holding out for dear life. Not enough distance to be able to get away from there. Good reactions to the tap dust. Now the uninstall allows to be able to react to the 2D. Jeek, we're looking at a possibility of Jack being able to turn things around.
Oh my god, dude,
Great.
QueenKoa has blocked like nonstop for like 40 seconds. Oh my god. Okay, so Jack, I don't mean to sound biased. Oh, okay, actually, never mind, we're still here. Okay, QueenKoa has been blocking forever, dude. Jack just needs to chip her out with this gunshot. Okay. Holy shit, bro. I was holding my breath. QueenKoa legit blocked for like 30 seconds, dude.
Every mix-up you could have under the sun, but Jack finally gets the one necessary hit, and it was off the gunshot. It was off the steady aim from full screen. A little bit of a misstep off of that 2S, but now we are down to the final game, the decider, to see what the result ends up being. QueenKoa needs this to get the reset. Jack needs this to claim yet another Jeekly. Let's get down to business, Jeek, as we get things started with QueenKoa pulling the trigger first.
Nice stuff, man. Rewards you. She gets rewarded rather with that counter hit and that burst away from Jack, trying to keep her back. Of course, feeling some momentum after winning that last round, but QueenKoa is still with 2 games on the board. Can't make any mistakes. Can't let her get any more mileage.
Yeah, right now, Jack just using that IBFD, gets that 6P off just in time off of the distance afforded by it, but we do get that hard knockdown. Koa not going to install just yet, hoping for an opportunity to be able to get an opportunity to build up even more jealousy, but now Jack has turned the situation around.
Oh, nice stuff here. The BRC trying to get out of the corner, but QueenKoa using that 2S to keep you back, and an aggressive 6P to put this HC down.
Nice mash out, that fuzzy 5K to catch the second hit of the Rekka. Jack is on set point, tournament point, to take tonight's Jeekly 89. Koa's run is starting to fall apart at the seams.
No stranger here to these grand finals. Jack rolling through you each side. Of course, QueenKoa with a hell of a loser's run, making history out here at the Jeekly. But for Jack, this is just fucking Friday. Baiting that burst, sending you through here with that full reload.
4 bullets in the chamber. Koa got 50 meter. Gonna install right in his face. Didn't give a damn about his advantage state. Gonna go straight for the intertwine and Zill. Positive bonus is giving Jack a lot of resources on deck, but Koa gonna have to get bursted out. Gonna have to start from dead man's land. She's got no reasons to the name. Jack, on the other hand, has full bits of resource, has 100 meter, but doesn't have any bullets to the name. Doesn't have any focus either. Gonna have to get whatever possibility. She gets the close slash on defense. Gonna get that install.
With that 5K after 2. Cabas is crazy.
This is do or die for Koa right now. She's got no other chance but right now. Only 1 bullet in the chamber and 50 meter on deck. She's got to catch whatever is possible. Gonna get that overhit off. She gets this down to the wire. She's down at reset point.
Oh my god, dude. Ava is fucking crazy. QueenKoa is insane. Great, good catch scratch right there to put Jack down here. I love those shots to get out of this corner. Very active with those K normals. That could be the key here. They're trying to beat out QueenKoa. Look at that. Trying to get that 5K 2D punish. Great stuff here from Jack.
Just enough distance to be able to get the Deus Ex Machina to get the hard knockdown. Koa does have 50 meter as well as 50 burst to be able to play off of that. Try to go for the up back, but get caught by the late JS. Gonna get yet another hard knockdown. Koa just comes up on just a full bit of burst. This is do or die. Last chance for Koa. This is the only chance available to her. And we're gonna go for the burst bait. No shots given. Final chance afforded, but Jack takes it. Jack taking Jeekly 89 for the first time in a while. That is Jack taking the crown and taking yet another name in here in tonight's grand finals. What a way to close things out. Last game, last round. But if you guys don't already know who I am, let me introduce myself formally to each and every one of you who just joined in tonight. My name is Sir Kappa. I'm part of Yokai. I'm one of the co-owners of Yokai really had a breakout year in 2025. But if you want to keep track of what I do, you can find me on Twitter at SirKappaVT. I also stream on Twitch at Sir_Kappa. But if you even want to find me more anywhere, Yokai is a very great community. We blew up immensely. We got almost 900 people in there. If you want to join up, Yokai socials are there as well. You'll find me on the Yokai Court at Real Yokai FGC on Twitter as well as on Twitch. So I hope you guys have a fantastic one. But thank you so much, Jeek. Thank you to everybody who showed up to compete tonight. And thank you to the chat for showing love and showing out. It has been a pleasure commentating tonight's top 8 as well as poolside. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. This has been Sir Kappa. I've been with my boy Jeek. I hope you guys have a fantastic one. Take care and have a great one.